Yoo-hoo, boys, it's us, your two hosts of Bussin' with the Boys. I'm here with Willie Compy.
Hang on.
Year 10 Willie.
What's up with the Compy?
My boy is just out here living the absolute dream in Columbia, South Carolina. Established in 1801, February 2nd to be exact. This place is just riddled with history. We're sitting right now. If you're listening to us, you can probably feel the grit around us, and that is the weight room we might be sitting in right now. Speaking of grit, Will.
Are you about to speak on the most durable competitor on the planet?
And let me tell you, buddy, I think a lot of people have seen who are now pretenders and contenders in this league, but one vehicle, one player in this world that is never a pretender and always a contender is the Chevy Silverado. Whether you got that off-road vehicle, that ZR2 that Will Compton has, that off-road beauty that he can literally go anywhere he wants, whenever he wants, because the vehicle has that type of durability, or if you're at a tailgate and you're just flexing on the boys with that multi-flex tailgate with the power outlet that's literally in the bed for you to enjoy. Literally, this vehicle can do it all. Any Chevy Silverado can do it all. But that ZR2 piece, I've seen Will driving. I've had the luxury of being in that vehicle.
I've been trying to, last night you were taking me home. I was like, brother, I'm telling you, test drive this boy out.
Right.
You should go get one.
And if
the ZR2 is legit, bro. It is legit.
If you guys want to test drive those things, just go to Chevy.com to learn more about the Chevy Silverado. We are here, like I said, in South Carolina. A lot of things have been happening. A lot of stuff, a lot of grit. You can tell by this weight room that this place is just built on sweat.
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube right now, number one, you should be subscribed. Drop a comment right now as we were talking. But we are wrapping up our collegiate football tour. That is brought to you by the one and only Bojangles. And we do, now that we've wrapped up our 5 places, I think we need to give some ratings on what the facilities are.
I would love to.
How do you want to separate it? Do you want to go weight room, performance,
indoor, and then overall facilities? I think it would be the.
Should we go stadium? Stadium?
Yes.
4 criteria?
4 criteria. I like that.
All right. And the spots we've been to, just to recap: Notre Dame, Nebraska, Michigan, Tennessee, South Carolina.
Now, I've been to all those except for South Bend, Indiana, Notre Dame, so I will bow out on that one. So just when I'm saying this for those Notre Dame fans listening, I wasn't there to experience it, so it's not going to make any of my list. But Willie, why don't you start us off? Weight room. How do we feel about weight rooms?
From 1 to 5, I would say go 5 to 1.
Go 5 to 1.
Go 5 to 1.
That was JP's idea.
I would say, unfortunately, Notre Dame has to be 5 because we didn't get to see it. They were very strict about the touring we got to do, so we didn't get to see Notre Dame. So for
Classic
that,
Catholics, dude.
For that reason, they're number 5. The number 4 weight room, I would have to say number 4. I would have to say the Gamecocks. I would have to say South Carolina's number 4. I would say number 3.
Go Cox, though.
I would say number 3 is Tennessee. Number 2 is Nebraska. And number 1 is Michigan. That is as objective as I feel like I can be about that situation. Now, people probably wondering, I'm literally sitting in. We're in South Carolina right now. I got eyes on me. I got cock eyes on me, dude. And
there's cocks flying everywhere around here.
You said it earlier, we're in a gritty spot. You feel the grittiness when you walk in here. There's no question about it. Every weight room has a little bit of grit to them. This one, I think, a little bit more shit to it than others.
If you were rating grit in weight rooms, though, this might be number 1.
That's fair. Yeah, because you can't really see. You'll be able to check it out on our vlog again, YouTube, Bussin' with the Boys. Yeah, you can't really see you can't see the flooring and stuff, but it's the smell when you walk in. It smells like a weight room. You guys know what I'm talking about. You meatheads, you guys know what I'm talking about. And
when you watch the vlog, you'll be able to see the smell.
Yeah.
It's one of those things you just look at and you're I know exactly what that smells like.
Well said. But I would say that's my list. Like Michigan, I think it's from what we've seen out of the 5, it's kind of untouchable. It's more of like a state-of-the-art type of weight room.
It's
got
very pro.
2 levels of uphill turf thing going up to the second level.
With the plyometric boxes that also go up on one side.
Yeah, and then kind of like equipment on the second floor. It's like a double-decker weight room and a full-court basketball court. Yeah. So it's kind of tough to touch that.
Which in that way you can access indoor and outdoor all at the same time. Getting around, which will go into our facilities, overall facility. We'll get to that
that's
one.
My weight room. How would you rate the weight room?
To be honest, everything you said, and I this is, obviously I feel like sometimes we should argue in this podcast, but I could go to weight rooms with you.
We can lift together.
I think that list.
We have lifted together.
We've lifted together, and I know what we're both looking for. I think a walk-on and a freshman Will Compton would be here. This would be the weight room you'd want to be in. But we're talking about state-of-the-art, the best of the best.
But I was a 4-star, but go ahead.
Yeah.
But 4-star Will Compton.
a four-star Will Compton would want to be in here. I think Michigan does have the best facilities. Now, I put that on right now. And what's the date right now? It's November 2022. In a year's time, Nebraska is doing a $200 million renovation. I fully expect that place to exceed Michigan. But that's the game we play in college, right? How do we get these recruits?
We're judging right now. We're judging right now.
Judging right now.
And you would do the same list?
My list mirrors your list.
All right. Anybody in back of the bus?
Besides,
do you guys have a different opinion on the list of the weight rooms? If you do, like
Nebraska and Tennessee can interchange. I know that's biased, but I'll see it.
I don't disagree with that either. Yeah, stratosphere for sure.
And so Jack just said he could interchange Nebraska and Tennessee. Here's why I would disagree with that, only because of Tennessee's the size of their weight room. I think the weight room itself, it's smaller and it's nicer. Like it's got more flash to it. It looks good, but Nebraska's is massive, and that's I think what you need for 150 guys working out.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with that. And again, boys, this is. I know we're in a different spot right now. We're in the weight room of University of South Carolina.
It's a beautiful
We're on the
campus.
bus right now, boys. This is Monday's intro, so we need you guys to chime in on anything. Are we plugged in for you guys to chime in? Oh, okay, all right. Then if we have something, we come around, we pass the mic. I'll pass the mic. I'll
If
be the mic
somebody has
passer.
something that important to say, we'll absolutely give up the mic.
All right, let's move on to stadiums. Let's do stadiums.
Okay.
You can go first.
All right. Okay, so Notre Dame. I've played at Notre Dame, so I can actually rank them. I would go
5-1. 5-1. This is a good one.
This is a tough one because they're actually all great. And I don't want my bias to sneak in here. I'm going to go Notre Dame 5 because of the size. It's the same exact thing as Ann Arbor, Michigan, just a little bit smaller. 4, I'm going to have to go Gamecocks. The reason why I'm going to do that is I think the stadium is very well set up, and I can't wait to hear the noise tomorrow night. I love that the student section's in the place where it seems like the most noise would get out because that's still going to be extremely loud. But if you covered up that area and kind of bowled it all in and then brought it all down, and we're talking about a lot of money here. But if you did that, they'd probably be higher up in the list. Number 3 is, and this is where to me it gets real close. Number 3 to me is going to be Nebraska. I've played in Nebraska. Not only is it loud, they're extremely polite as well. When that place gets rocking, it is incredible. Now, my 2.
Oh, you haven't experienced the Tennessee game day.
I know, but I know what it's about.
You will in due time in the future.
My number 2 is going to be the Big House. And this is the only reason why Michigan does not make my number 1. When you go and play an away game and you go to a spot, what's the first question everybody asks? How loud is it? Mm-hmm. And when you go to Michigan, although it is superior in size to any North American stadium, maybe even the world, it's beautiful, it's amazing, it's riddled with history. They're lacking noise. And I know the game got out of hand fast last week, and that was my most recent exposure. But I can only imagine being in Alabama, or being in Tennessee for the Tennessee-Alabama game and watching that all go down. And everything I've heard, it's one of the loudest stadiums, and it holds over 100,000. I have to tip my cap to Knoxville, Tennessee on that one. That is my 1.
It's interesting, given that you haven't
and
been
I was
to
trying
Tennessee
to be as
game
unbiased
yet.
as possible.
My 5.
How far off was I on that?
I mean, you were a little off. Not by much, though. I would say 5 is Notre Dame. I haven't been to a Gamecock game. I just know what I saw in that room, and that thing was fire. But I do still feel like it's number 4 on my list. Out of those experiences, those game day experiences, there's no doubt. Number 3 is definitely Michigan. 2, I would say game day experience loud. I would say this is not only me talking, this is hearing from Michigan. This is hearing from others out there, like trying to judge all the schools.
And I know what Will's about to say.
What am I about to say?
You're 100% right. Everyone in the Big Ten says, what is the best atmosphere in the Big Ten? They say Nebraska.
Yeah, like when we were at Michigan just last week for the Bussin Bowl, they're like, They're like, that was the place.
That was the place.
This is your boy Dave too. Like, how much balls he's seen at Michigan?
He's seen maybe too much.
Yeah, maybe too much ball. He was
ball.
like last year, night game, best 31 team in the country,
right?
Rocking stadium. Imagine if we were
legitimately,
legit,
like winning those games.
Right. Number 2, Nebraska. Number 1, hearing it myself, I would have to say Tennessee. The way it's built, straight up and down. I'm telling you, when you're in there, bro, it rattles your ears. It rattles your ears.
Right.
It's an awesome place for ball, and like you said, Nebraska's more. It's weird because it's loud, but they're also nice. They're saying congratulations after the game, good game, glad nobody got hurt.
Win or lose.
Yeah, see you next year. Hey, I hope that heals up nice, and they're genuine about it.
Yeah.
And Tennessee, they want your throat when they're there. It's kind of like a Philadelphia Eagles vibe as far as fandom. And it's built straight up and down. It's loud.
Ohio State goes like that too. Ohio State and
Tennessee number one. Tennessee number 1.
Now, the overall facilities. This is the grand package of all of these campuses we've been to. If you were to take all those, put it into one, and 5-1, what would you do?
5-1.
How you were treated at each place?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
I don't know if
it's kind of weird.
Like
Like
a move.
I'm just trying to.
Saying overall facilities.
No, because I think Michigan treated us just as equally as Nebraska did.
Oh no! Come on, we do.
You don't think so?
I'm good on some of these rankings, like we're one off one or the other, bro. I mean, you haven't been to Nebraska for a game day.
I know. These overall facilities at the time we went like spring football tour, and don't get me wrong. Like, I knew Nebraska was going to show up for the boys, and I was very nervous. Michigan keeps it more close to the vest, but I was extremely impressed. We walked away with jerseys. They gave us access to everything we needed. We could walk around freely.
Yeah, but
I think they treated us equally.
We got to take in the overall picture. Like, if we're going to Nebraska, we know we're like, these dudes all have media credentials, walking around the locker rooms, like being on the field, doing all that stuff. In Michigan, we literally had, we got them passes. We did get them passes, but at first it was just me and you. And then you didn't feel the most comfortable going in the locker room. I'm like, we're all in the locker room. We're literally back in the equipment room eating pizza with the boys.
Yeah, I understand that. And that's more of my insecurities than it is how they were treating us, though.
Yeah, but it's still pretty laced up. I would think.
I think
they did a great job. It was the Bussin Bowl. But I'm just saying, if we're talking about they treated fairly equally, I would say, like, if Michigan would have went first in the spring tour and Nebraska got to follow, Michigan probably wouldn't have done some of those things that we got to do.
Maybe.
As far as jerseys and everything else. True. But walking away from Nebraska,
my uncle.
walking away from the Nebraska spring tour, you were working that phone like, hey,
I was.
boys, I'm telling you right now.
I'm trying to live in reality as much as possible right now. I think they're neck and neck.
What are we going overall when we say overall facilities?
Stadium, I think you leave treatment out of it because if
like
you
the
were
way
to
they treat it. Yeah. I mean, it's all different.
Right.
But we're at South Carolina. Honestly, I'm ecstatic the way we've been treated since being on South Carolina.
Yeah.
The best tour guide we've had is Steven Garcia, going around and touring the facilities.
Well, don't sleep on Davey now. Dave Avloff. Come on.
I'm not sleeping on Dave. I'm not sleeping on my boys in Nebraska either. I'm just saying, like, a guy's
Stevie has a totally different energy than the rest of our guys have had.
A guy's guy, you know. We're filling up the Bojangles. Yeah, he's a dude's dude.
Yeah.
But in the way we've been able to be escorted around here, like, we've been welcomed with open arms. That's what I'm getting at. Like,
the we had duffel bags of gear over there in the corner.
We had Notre Dame and South Carolina were the ones that, like, were kind of going beyond our reach of alumni and obviously being in the home state of Tennessee.
Right.
Like, getting that type of treatment. Like, South Carolina's, they're up there. And shout out to JP Hovey, who's hooked it all up for the boys.
Right.
They've been awesome. Like, we've been walking around. They've been ecstatic that we're here. They're like, people know about Bussin, yada, yada. The energy's good. With all that said, full on facility, everything else, I think you got to go
5.
Notre Dame 5.
This is we'll never be invited back to South Bend.
It's not like a slight at them.
All great facilities.
Yeah, it's a great facility. We just didn't get to see a lot at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Well, we knew that going in. We knew we had to build, like, it's like a stepping stone type of relationship.
Are we talking campus too?
Yes. I think overall college vibes, I guess.
Overall college vibes.
So facility, stadium, now, based on what I just said, you'd have to go about how they treated us and campus vibes.
So how they treated us.
So I'm talking about the overall experience, encompassing experience of being in each university. which might be a little unfair to South Carolina because we just got here a few hours ago.
Yeah.
We haven't had a huge opportunity to see this place. So just know that wherever they fall on this list, your boys could flip our mind, no problem, right? Especially me, I'm a flip-flopper.
I know we've put Notre Dame 5, and Notre Dame will be 5 on the list, but I will say as far as most beautiful campus I've been on, it's Notre Dame without question. Like, you feel like you're walking around like Hogwarts in Harry Potter.
Wow.
Hey, and you being a newly Harry Potter guy, you would love it. It's got that vibe. Like, in certain areas, you can't walk on certain grass. Like, there's some traditions. Like, you don't walk up those stairs to that building unless you've graduated. And there's just like... there's an element of just mystery to it that you just feel like you're on a college campus.
See all the things you're saying?
And it's incredible. But there's not a lot to do in South Bend as far as like college town. There's not a lot going on there.
Right.
And I think like that, not being able to see all the facilities, now it's Notre Dame, so they're probably
top
first
notch.
class. Yeah, top
Their
notch.
helmets are iconic.
Yeah. And game day experience, I haven't been to a Gamecock. I haven't been to a South Carolina game. I'm only seeing that stuff on there. But we stormed the field and, it was awesome, but I wouldn't say it was like elite. So that's why it would be my number 5. Number 4, I'm going to go Gamecocks. College, all around everything. I would say number 3 is Tennessee. And then I would go, in my unbiased opinion, I'm being objective as possible, so do not hate me, Husker Nation. But number 2 is Michigan and number 1 is Nebraska.
Hey, you really had me. You really had me. So here's when you were bringing up Notre Dame and how like it's kind of feel like that vibe. We're talking about there's things you can't step on, there's stairs you can't go up. Michigan has that same thing. You weren't able to see those things. But there's literally a block M in the middle of campus, and you literally have to jump over it. No one's allowed to step on it, touch it, unless you're part of these 3 different secret societies that are in Michigan.
You told me about the secret societies.
Yeah, and there's like obviously the bell tower. There is there's a fountain that if you run from the Michigan M to the fountain and back in a certain amount of time, there's awards. There's stuff you can do within the campus, kind of like checklists off like your stuff. It's like the little things on Xbox when you play video games and you unlock certain things. You're like, oh, I had no idea I was even trying to do that mission.
It'd probably be better if we had a tour of the campus because to me, Michigan felt like more of a puzzle than all the other colleges.
Really?
I thought so. Maybe I don't know if those guys felt that way.
To me, it's State Street, Main Street, and then a couple side roads, and you're solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, the house is in the tailgate at Michigan. We just got to really sit here and think, okay.
Yeah.
Will's obviously being a little bit biased. I think
I'm not being biased at all.
Here's where I think you're being biased. The housing situation in Nebraska is such an important piece of a college, and having a college town where everything's surrounding. Michigan, you could literally live all over campus and get to class, the facilities, the academic center, in 5 minutes.
Very fair point.
All right, my list. Obviously, I'm going to have to go Notre Dame, number 5, because I haven't been there other than to play when I was in college. Number 4, it's tough because I haven't seen South Carolina's campus yet.
I feel like this place is a lot of fun.
This place is a lot of fun.
I feel like South Carolina is a lot of fun.
I feel like this is a great place to come.
We've basically only been in the weight room.
Yeah, the weight room in the stadium, which they have a nice little bar set up in the stadium where the old locker room used to be, or the old weight room used to be. They have a nice little setup there, and then when the players walk out to go out in the stadium, that's just like the Dallas Cowboys stadium where you're like, there's just people staring at you like a zoo animal, which I think is a cool vibe.
But they're 4 on your list.
But they're 4 on my list. Number 3 is going to be Tennessee. I think Tennessee, they have a lot to work to do with their facilities. I think it looks like an unfinished product to me, but I see the direction they're going, and I think it's going to be phenomenal when it's done.
Right, like they're the most dated type of...
They have the most dated stuff.
It's big, but it's dated.
Yes. But listen, I gave Tennessee their flowers in the stadium, so shout out the Vols. 2, obviously I've kind of already said what I was going to say, but like overall, and I know I'm going to say Nebraska 2, Michigan 1, but these 2 are close to me. I don't know if it was the hospitality, coming back, or even going to Nebraska where you've played and you need to see your boy in his place where he was and how he was welcomed with open arms. It's a pretty incredible experience. So
you
those
basically
are very
played
close.
at Nebraska.
Huh?
You basically played at Nebraska when you visited.
It felt like it.
Right.
It really did feel like I was like, oh, I've been here. I've done this. I had to block Sue in practice. That type of thing. Yeah. It's if you're just going off of hospitality, like the fans, how nice they are and stuff like that, Nebraska takes the cake on that. I'm not saying hospitality, how we were treated, but like in the facility, because I think Michigan and Nebraska are neck and neck, contrary to what you believe. But I think Nebraska, naturally, we walked into a gas station when we first got there, and it was like, we talked to these guys for 20 minutes. They had a 45-year-old dog just sitting in the corner that was like wildly obese, obviously got in the pork rinds a little too much. And they were just talking our ear off about the last 100 years of Nebraska. And then once Will's name got like uttered, it sounded like he was 4-time All-American, like 10-time All-Pro.
Hang on, what are you trying to say?
I ain't trying to disrespect. I'm just saying, like it sounds.
Had a decent career.
A phenomenal
Top 15
career.
in tackles all time. Just start trying to rattle off stats.
Top 15 in tackles. But I would say that is that's my list. It seemed like we were pretty similar.
Yeah,
we had the same vibe in a lot of different directions.
I think it was imperative that we did talk about it because we are wrapping up our Bojangles tour, and it's been a fun time.
It's been great. Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt this podcast to bring you an ad. That is Game Time. Created by the fans for the fans, Game Time is a ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, and they guarantee the lowest prices. If you haven't given Game Time a shot yet, don't know what you're waiting for. You guys are going to love this. They've got great deals on concerts and NFL tickets. We've got tons of Barstool fans using it, hitting us up on social about great deals they are getting. So easy to use, amazing deals. It's the fastest growing ticketing app in the U.S. You are going to love it. Download the Game Time app, go to the account tab to create a login, and redeem code Bussin for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time app, last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. Listen, your boys, we're in South Carolina right now. There's a big game coming up tomorrow. Gamecocks versus Vols. How do you think we got our tickets? Back to the show. And you know what, dude? I think Bojangles might be the most slept on place. The most slept on chicken spot in all of America. Their chicken sandwich, their fried chicken sandwich, that thing.
Last week,
it was like the Burger King commercial back in the day with the guy with the little hands. I picked that thing up and I was like, Jesus.
Last week when we broke bread on the bus?
Yes. What you pulling out there? That chicken sandwich I was just talking about.
Yeah.
Look at this thing.
It's a nice.
Looks
it
like
really
a damn
is good.
commercial. Uh-oh.
You know me. You don't.
Mama.
You don't watch me make
There
my way
goes
around
that
the
man.
sandwich, boy.
Year 10. That boy hungry. That boy is hungry. How good? Rate it for me.
No, it's good.
Rate it for me.
All right.
My boy just took 3 bites.
Hey, can you hear me in there? Did you hear me go? All right. A good amount of seasoning. You know how when you eat Chick-fil-A, it's a little bit cleaner. You eat Popeyes, you taste the seasoning a lot more in the chicken sandwich. I know I'm talking with my mouth full right now, but I think it's important. But the seasoning is just right. If you look here, the ratio of breaded to chicken, very well done. Popeyes is a little too much on the breading. Chick-fil-A, less on the breading, like, you know. Bojangles, you see just right the ratio.
Yeah.
As far as the sauce, whatever little mayo sauce they have on there, it's a nice, I'm not swallowing, I already have food in my mouth. Very nicely prepared. And the bun, which is important. You see the shininess on that bun?
That's butter.
The way your teeth break into it and the smoothness of it is important. Like, look at my thumb imprint on it. That's how it is when you bite down.
That's a cushy ride you're about to go on.
It's soft. Overall, 4.5.
Yeah, you can't argue with that. Tell you what, the Bojangles is an incredible company. There's a lot to be thankful for with them, but we all know Thanksgiving is this week. One of the more underrated holidays that we celebrate every single year, and I think it's important.
What direction are we going right here?
I think it's important that the boys say what they're thankful for.
You want to do that now, or you want to do it last before we get into Midland? Black Friday's coming up.
Holy shit.
We've got to talk about how important Black Friday is. Not only for Bussin' with the boys, but for everybody shopping for Christmas. Everything you see that I'm wearing, this is the Seagull Boys doing a collab with Bussin' with the boys. This is all going to be live on Thursday night, 10:30 p.m. Central Time. 11:30 p.m. Eastern is when our Black Friday sale drops. We have how many items do we have dropping, Garrett?
23 units.
23 new items dropping. We're going to have a lot more boys hats, those boys diamond hats that everybody's screaming, hey, do our team, do this team. We have more of those coming out. We have more lightning tees coming out. We have the
this
hoodies.
little piece I'm wearing right here.
Yeah,
There's a fire
the
piece right
coach's
here.
jacket. We have a
The old schools.
We're doing a Legends collab where we have a
the
Legends
legend one
hoodie.
fits like a glove now.
The Seeger boys. I know there's a cult following of the Seeger brand.
Kyle Phillips is a part of that cult.
Yeah,
he loves
and
them.
This right here, what you're seeing, this is going to be out. We have a lot of cool shit. It is dropping. We're going to have awards for. We're going to have like a tier system too, like biggest spender, a day on the bus, all expenses paid for. We might have. You're floating around a little teaser of maybe
dinner?
a sweet possibility.
Oh, yeah.
Being entered in to get a
Yeah,
a
I think
full
if someone
suite.
spends a certain amount of money, and listen, it's right now it's Friday. We're in South Carolina. Before this trip is over, before this pod is released, we will have everything slotted as far as if you spend this much, this is what we're going to give you. There's going to be a lot of winnings out there. You got to pay attention to what the boys are doing because there's so many new things that you can get that are coming out on Black Friday, but also these old school things right here. There's the tried and true boys. You start grabbing those. Christmas is right around the corner. That's why they call it Black Friday. But we're getting ready for the flurries, this Christmas flurries. Santa Claus can't do it all, so do something else for your family as well. But when this pod drops, a couple hours after that, you will start to see through me, Will, Bussin, the boys, you will see all the things that we're going to do for you based on what you spend. Obviously, top spender, a day on the bus. And
I think that's a non-negotiable.
That's a non-negotiable. I do believe I can make this work, but I'm thinking this might be the top spender. They could probably choose between these two. Is Titans game, I don't know, 8 tickets and a suite for a game?
That's nice.
That's nasty.
Nice.
That's nasty. And then also, there's going to be a bunch of other stuff. Like I said, I'm not going to put my foot in my mouth and say a bunch of things right now, but there's going to be a lot of things that we're going to do for you guys. Basically, it's a couple of things. One, incredible deals on Black Friday, but it's also a huge thank you to you guys because we wouldn't be able to go to amazing campuses like this without you guys tuning in every single day, subscribing, unsubscribing, resubscribing, and then also pushing our merch, not only buying it for yourself, but showing your friends and saying, hey, look what I'm wearing.
Right.
Hey, where'd you get that piece? Oh, I got it from Bussin' with the Boys. Here's the link. We are going to do an incredible job of making this so easy for you. You're literally going to go to Bussin's account, my account, Will's account. You're going to see the thing. You're going to say, I like that beanie. I like that shirt. You're going to click on the link. It's going to take you right there. And you're going to be able to do whatever you want with that thing, baby. It's going to be all you.
And don't sleep on the whiskey either. Get that bourbon. Stock them shelves up with that bourbon.
Listen, and I know we ask a lot of you guys, especially on this one, it seems like we've been rambling for a little bit. The whiskey that we did with Whistle Pig. There's several states that it is not shipped to, but every liquor store that carries Whistle Pig whiskey is going to have our whiskey. The faster you guys buy it, the more that we are going to be able to do and contribute to the viewers and give you guys an opportunity to do something incredible with us. Because it's honestly a dream what we're doing right now, but baby, we're not even scratching the surface of what this thing can totally be, and we're nothing without you guys. So let's keep the train rolling a little bit. The more you guys buy that whiskey, the better it is for all of us. And we're going to do something special.
Yeah.
We figure something out like that, we're going to do something special for you guys. I think
It's a couple things. It's simple. We have the best merch store in the Barstool store.
Yeah.
And whiskey. We sell out of this whiskey, this rollout, we get the co-brand on a bottle. And that's fucking
and you're probably thinking
massive.
to yourself, what's co-brand? What do you mean by
We
co-brand?
get to collaborate. It's not a sticker, it's the full bottle.
It's the full bottle. You talking about Pink Whitney? Those boys that spit in chicklets do?
Yeah.
That vodka is delicious.
Yeah.
You put that thing, especially in a college town, you throw that thing in there. Everyone's throwing on Pink Whitney like crazy. Give us the same opportunity to give you something a little more hot in the throat, dude. A little more whiskey that makes you feel nice and warm in your tummy, especially with winter coming. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
I think that was outstanding. I think the boys...
Very, very...
I think Will and I were just in flow state. What are we thankful for, Will?
I'm trying to think before we get to the thankful stuff if I'm missing anything else before we wrap this
You
intro
hit Black
up.
Friday. We hit the whiskey.
Yeah. I think we're solid.
Yeah, there was a...
I think that's who knows how long we've gotten on this pod already, on this intro.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. On
27
top
minutes.
of a long...
And
Well,
then-
let's not even say it because we have no idea what it's going to turn out and end up being, but it's a
long pod.
fun fucking pod.
It's a fun pod. You're going to hear a lot of rambling on it. The boys are going off yet again. You know who's on.
Yeah, Midland's coming on. They were an awesome time. They were in town for the CMAs?
CMA Awards.
The CMA Awards,
Yeah.
the red carpet deal. They came through town and
Spoiler, they didn't win, but still,
yeah, they're big
outstanding
friends of
group.
the show. So we had to get the squad together and talk
Yeah.
a lot of shop. We'll go around, say what we're thankful for Thanksgiving with just the boys, and we wrap this thing up and get into Midland.
Bloss is not here. Moment of silence for Bloss. God love him.
Which one do you guys want to start?
Let's go, Garrett.
Am I standing on?
You can go, and then you can go.
Cam? On cam. Is this the good one?
Am I sitting on your lap too?
Don't do that, bro. All right, so what I'm most thankful for is
He said no.
getting to do what we do every day. I think it's pretty badass. Like, we talked about it last week a little bit, but like, I get to call this work, and that's pretty fucking cool. So I'm pretty thankful for that.
That was beautiful.
Thanks.
It's a moment, too, because your arms around Taylor right there.
Yeah, that was nice.
You don't want to know where his thumb was.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, Mitch, what do you got?
Mine's sort of along the same lines, but I'm thankful for you guys bringing me on. Not to say I was in a bad spot in Charlotte, but I was not enjoying my job. It was pretty miserable. I wasn't the happiest person. Not a slight on NASCAR, it just wasn't for me. But now being with you guys, I can say this is the happiest I've been in probably over a year. And I'm enjoying it,
awesome.
being a big football guy, just hanging out, talking football, talking shop. This is literally a dream job for me, so thank you guys for that.
No doubt, Mitch. Appreciate you being vulnerable with the boys, too. That's outstanding, buddy.
Jack, JP?
Honorable mention to the boys. Obviously, always thankful. But I'm most thankful for my sister is about to have her kid here in about a week. So I'm about to be an uncle. Couldn't be more excited. Little baby Izzy is her name. And yeah, she's due the last couple of days of November. Like I said, could not be more excited to have a little niece in my life. Love, honor, spoil her. So very thankful for family and friends.
I am thankful for a lot of things this Thanksgiving. Thankful for the health of my family, but I'm going to stick with G and Mitch. I'm thankful for Taylor, thankful for Will, thankful for the boys, and specifically like these trips. These trips are like things that I dreamed about as like a kid to go on, and like, how am I going to do it? I'm not a college football player. I'm not going to play pro sports, whatever. So it's just like it's super dope to me to like be able to come to these places and get these experiences that I like always wanted to do, but didn't know how to do it. That's mine.
That was outstanding.
You want to go?
Appreciate the boys just giving out love, man. Yeah, I think I got two. And they're going to be pretty easy because what I am thankful for, obviously my beautiful wife, my two little girls, and the life we've been able to establish. For those of you who don't know, that me and Taylor got engaged in 5 weeks and then married in 2 months without anybody knowing. And when people started finding out, there was obviously a bunch of question marks of, hey, what is Taylor doing? I'm sure Taylor was being asked that by her family. And it's been 6 years of marriage now with 2 healthy, beautiful kids, and I could not be more thankful for that. It has been the coolest thing in the world being a dad and a husband. So I love it. And my second one is obviously going out to the boys, because there's literally Will and I sat at a Chinese restaurant right after the season in 2018 and decided to do a podcast, and never in our wildest dreams did I think we'd ever be able to achieve this. And being able to do trips and do a podcast every week with your best friend is one of the best blessings you can have in your entire life. So that's what I'm thankful for this Thanksgiving. I love you.
Love you too, brother. Along the same lines, like, I'm extremely thankful for my family. Like, I have a 7-month-old cerulean that I am just absolutely obsessed with. My wife and I just have the most fun every evening, just watching her in the mornings, playing, all that stuff. And just, being able to do life with somebody that you love and create new life and have somebody that you're just absolutely obsessed with. Like, everybody always says, like, you don't know what love is until you have a kid of your own. And it is, it's very true. And obviously, my family back home, my dad, my 2 brothers, having people like that, Man.
You good, bub? Got me tearing up.
And
too.
you guys. I'm super thankful to be surrounded by you guys, because you're right. There's a level of fear knowing like it's so dope that we've been able to establish this and create this and like have this as the plan B, because there's a level of fear when you're done playing because your identity's so wrapped up in it, and taking shots and doing all this stuff and hiring people and learning how to try and scale and figure shit out. I know there's a lot of frustration at times with all the boys, but being surrounded by you guys, like, I'm super thankful because this shit is fucking awesome. And obviously your boy gets a little choked up because I get close to tipping the cap to the old mom. You know, but she'd be damn proud.
Yeah, she would.
But happy Thanksgiving, boys. You want to send us off to Midland?
I don't know if I can.
I'm telling you. Hey,
You're better at crying than I am.
everybody take a moment in Thanksgiving and be thankful for everybody that you're surrounded by, and let them know. Like, tell people, look them in the eye, and let them know, because you just never fucking know.
You really
bro.
don't.
And holiday season's coming up.
Holiday season.
But
I'll tell you what, buddy. Yeah, solid.
hey, we can go to Midland, man. Hey, tier ones, everybody, we love you guys. Black Friday's coming. We're changing the vibes up. But seriously, be thankful this holiday season. We interrupt this episode to bring you Sport Clips. Shout out Sport Clips, no free shout out. Sport Clips haircuts have developed an all-new relaxing blend of chamomile, lavender, and eucalyptus for their hot steam towel. If you guys have never had a hot steam towel after a fresh cut, you are missing out on this MVP experience. If you want to try this new scent, you've got to make sure to ask for the MVP experience, courtesy of the boys to you. It comes with a hot towel, a massaging shampoo, and of course, a great-looking haircut, hopefully a fade. Doesn't matter if you're balding, my edges are a little light, or have the noggin of Sasquatch. Hey, Mitch, they're talking to you with that. Sport Clips stylists have been specifically trained to cut men's hair. They've literally seen it all, boys. Just another reason why Sport Clips is the pro in men's hair. Look up, go on their site, find a Sport Clips near you, go there, ask for the MVP experience. Back to the episode.
We're rolling.
Rolling, go ahead.
Okay, so talking
Segue
at the
to what we were talking about.
So the CMA Awards is happening now. In the CMA world, just like in the football world, just like any world where there's voting on things, there's probably some people that get more votes than others. And being an independent is probably a little more difficult than being a part of a big
record
company
label that is like Universal or something.
And do you guys feel like you fall into that trap sometimes?
Yes. Oh, 100%. I mean, it's happened to other recording artists on Big Machine for sure.
Yeah.
Luckily, we're not in it for that. But you asked right before we started
What would like
recording
an award mean?
and Mark was gonna answer that, which is
So
What Cameron was saying on the drive over here is that, for us, really, being nominated keeps us in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps us at the forefront. And, whatever anybody's going to say, the awards are about getting eyeballs, getting ears on you, and getting attention. Sure, it'd be nice to have the hardware, but really for us, it's about getting the music out there and growing our fan base. Getting as many people to listen to Midland as possible, and many people come to the shows, because that's what we set out to do, is to make great music that moves people, inspires people. And we've never where we're like, man, we're gonna win. Our goal by year 8 is to have 8 CMAs.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have 4 Grammys.
Yeah.
And if we don't do that, our career's been a failure. I've personally never thought about that, but I will say this, and you guys can, all of us being former and active, and maybe even Will still active athlete,
Year 10's alive and well.
Yeah.
Could be, yeah.
By the time this comes out, I'm probably
Sounds like really, really active.
Let them kids know.
We're fucking competitive. We're competitors, and we hate to fucking lose. Period. End of story.
Right.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's not that the awards mean so much. It's just we hate to fucking.
when you
lose.
get nominated, you want to win.
You want to win.
That's it.
There's no question.
And from a branding perspective, it just, like you were saying earlier, it just helps with like,
Yeah,
like, oh, who's Midland? Anybody that might
we've
never.
won an ACM, so that's now part of our ACM award-winning Midland. When you're sending in
Two-time Grammy losing,
yeah,
10
but
times CMA
but what you
losing.
say is Grammy nominated,
It doesn't just
Grammy
it doesn't hit as hard,
nominated,
you know?
CMA nominated. I don't know who's. I mean,
That
those
is
things.
exactly what you need to put.
That's what we do.
10 times
That's what we do.
losing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's funny.
Put it on an album for
I
sure.
like being the underdog. I like having a little bit of chip on all of our shoulders, and it's something that kind of, to me, pushes me personally as an artist to just to keep going.
We're the Raiders
as hard as we can.
of country music.
Because if we lose, it's like, all right, wait till this album next year. You know what I mean? And that's what's been driving us to
The Bad
I think, to produce
Boys.
this body of work that we've had. We're like the Bussin with the boys of country music.
There we go.
You know?
Authentic, original.
Winning.
Just the fucking underdog.
Absolutely.
underdogs.
You are the
Absolutely
underdog.
fucking beasted.
Who is in your sector? Who is like the brass ring? Who do you guys aspire to be, or who do you feel threatened by?
On our podcast.
Number one in the
Podcast.
sports world, I would say is Part of My Take.
Part of my take are Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking like if you're just looking at, I mean, when you look at a video show, Pat McAfee's competing with like the ESPNs of the world. Like Part of My Take, like in the podcast space,
Yeah,
I would say
they
Pat
dominate.
McAfee's like a daily show that gets videoed all the time. And then that gets kind of regurgitated, I guess, as podcasting. But as for podcasting, I would say Part of My Take's number one.
And podcasting,
Dan
podcasting in
Levitan.
general
Do you?
Yeah, but
is Rogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
That's
because
you
Rogan.
guys you're a hybrid of that,
You
right?
guys have
Like,
morphed. I mean, you're
Yeah,
definitely.
and
there
you're
is
like
a-
Joe Rogan. You're
There's
going.
a fluidity to what we
Right.
do, and I think I don't know how where this train's going. We really have no idea. We've literally said we're going to sit after the season's over. We're going to sit and talk about what avenues we're going to go down. But from any podcast, we could have sports guys on, and we'll talk about sports the entire time. And then we'll have other people on, and like we had Jared Allen, which it probably didn't come out the week. This will come out
People
the week
probably
after.
already heard.
But I probably already heard Jared Allen.
Maybe.
For the first hour of the podcast, we talked about conspiracy theories and religion and all this crazy stuff.
together a better rapid fire soundbite clip than Bussin' with the Boys.
Well, that's
you
an
know?
outstanding
I mean,
compliment.
wow.
I would agree
That's a
with
great.
that.
That's
Jess,
the new. That's
why
going
don't
to
you
be
go
the
and
new
switch to
commercial.
Mark? Yeah, why don't you go ahead and
Now,
that is a good way to get up top there,
Just
bud.
moving up. I'm moving up. Step by
Move
step.
it up.
where is there beef with Rogan? Will, you've alleged at it. I think we are maybe trying to create. No. I think we need to air it out. I think we need to get, at the very least, a soundbite out of this. But I know you feel like you got cock blocked when
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, we were gonna release one, and by the way, like Big Cat and Part of My Take.
I know you don't want to talk about this, but we're going there.
I just think when you look up to your heroes so much in this world, and then something like this happens,
Idols
it's a
become,
tough pill to swallow.
Idols become your rivals,
And that's what we're talking about here.
See, but congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But like for starters, we were gonna release the Aaron Rodgers podcast when we went to Green Bay. Everybody saw we were going to Green Bay. Big Cat reached
Everyone
out
saw.
to me. They do a grit week, and BC was like, "Hey, you mind holding the Aaron Rodgers pod? We're gonna release ours on Monday." And he's Big Cat. They're on the roster. They're on the squad.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
You guys do your thing. But then the following week, when we're about to release ours, Rogan cucks us. There's no communication with Rogan. Rogan just, and people might think like, "Oh, Will, you don't even talk to Rogan." We are one person away from Rogan on. We can probably count on
10
two
different people.
hands. Yeah,
we're 10 different people. We're one phone call.
what's
If
his
he
name
wanted
on
to
a
get our
few
numbers,
times.
he could.
Yeah. Like Rogan knows.
But we
about
probably
us.
couldn't get his
But he
number.
just doesn't care.
But
But he
could
doesn't
definitely
need
get
to
ours.
ask your permission, unfortunately.
He could definitely, if he texts and say, "Hey, it's Rogan."
He doesn't need to
I'd probably
ask for
answer that
permission for sure, but at the same time, like from where he started, from the webcam podcasting, and everything else, like squashing the little guy, I just feel like that's not Rogan. That's
I
not
think
the
you
bro
came out
Rogan
on
I know.
top. I thought it was a great interview. Doesn't matter. I think people have more time than you may. I don't know if you exposed any, because I listened to his too. Are you worried that he got to certain subjects and got Aaron Rodgers talking about things that you wish you had been the first? Is that
About
why you're
mushrooms?
angry
People
about?
listen
About mushrooms,
to-
ayahuasca,
people
the whole
listen-
thing.
people
listen
That
to,
podcast came out right
okay.
after.
People listen to PMTs first.
Yeah.
Then it's like, well, first Aaron came out with he did one with Marcus Aubrey
Yeah.
talking about ayahuasca and everything else.
Uh-huh.
Then Part of My Take, that's kind of a different flow.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, like we're kind of a hybrid. But then Rogan comes out with a 3-hour banger with them, and it's like by the time we get there, we're the fourth one that has Aaron Rodgers. People might
But
not
you've
want
al-
to listen.
Right.
Okay. I understand. I listen because I'm an avid fan. I will say this just anecdotally, and this is with all the respect in the world to one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, full stop. I thought he was a little chippy when you talked to him. He was a little chippy with you.
I
He was
think,
a little chippy.
but I think he knows that about Bussin' with the Boys. Like he knows it's a little chirpy because he saw. Remember, he said that was a good tweet you had, and then he knew he had to get me back.
Get
Yeah.
hostile in a hurry on
He
this
was a
bus
little
sometimes.
hostile.
It can get that way.
Okay.
But
does it?
I'll say, if you've ever done ayahuasca, you know those next few days, couple weeks after that, the endorphins are a little
Which
low.
I haven't.
They're a little low,
In
from what
his-
I've heard.
In his defense,
Right.
the way
Well, he was just coming off an ayahuasca trip.
Allegedly, I don't know.
Okay.
His big thing was he did ayahuasca. That was like he's opened himself up. His mind is now he's
Right.
just seeing the world and from different lens.
but not coverage.
I think that'd be a great episode. Like the third time we come out here, like we all do ayahuasca
together.
Yeah.
Boy,
I think
you guys
maybe
want to all do ayahuasca together.
like for an episode.
I would do ayahuasca with you
I've
guys.
done almost everything but ayahuasca.
what's happening?
I'm a huge proponent of mushrooms.
Hey, hang on
I
a
think
second.
mushrooms are
Hang
the
on.
truth.
Just stay on the.
Yeah.
I was telling Cam, and his defense Cam looked at me, and we just stared at each other while we were here, and everybody. I was like, it's happening. In Aaron's defense, the way Big Cat, I don't know if you listened to that one. That one was a phenomenal interview, but
I didn't.
Big Cat was chirping him, so he probably thought, okay, another Barstool pod coming. I gotta have my guns ready this time.
He was definitely defensive in the interview, and you were just asking honest. He thought you were making fun of him.
Right.
That's what it felt like. His responses were, which I was, you're my guy, so I'm a little bit like.
Let me ask you something.
you're going to bat for us.
Well,
I
let's
appreciate
maybe tone it down a little bit, Aaron
Literally.
Rodgers.
I mean, look at that
But if
bat
I
he's
saw
got.
him,
Yeah, exactly.
if I saw him, and you guys weren't around, I would immediately go,
aggressive right
"What
now.
was up with Will trying to get?"
Earlier, I tried
would
to
take
see
his.
this bat, and he wouldn't relinquish it.
Yeah.
It's my bat.
It's my talking stick.
Stop it.
Let me ask you: did you think that the Rogan beef was serious?
No,
Okay, good.
I assumed that.
We were going on
It
a
was
real
getting real
conversation
for a little bit. I
knew
just
you were
kept
mad. I'm
chuckling.
thinking like, oh, we're really,
Yeah.
we're writing this thing
Because
for
Rogan's
real.
got to see this.
When,
think so?
when I got done with Shane Gillis, I was like, hey, bro, what do we got to do to get Rogan? Like, legit, what would you advise Taylor and I to do? He's like, he doesn't really talk sport. He doesn't really care about sports. I'm like, I
You
get
guys
that.
would have to
do so much
Yeah,
non-sports
Yeah, but listen,
You
I
guys are
think
non-thematic. Like
Will and
there's nothing about this podcast that says like, yeah, we're going to talk about sports. Although we are going to talk about sports at some point.
yeah, there's no question. We'll talk about. We have plenty of time.
Well, can I offer
picked
up a
Wednesday.
transition for everyone to weigh in on potentially, or at least?
Should we have some
hear you?
ground rules? You guys are on again. This is the second time we've had the Midland boys on. If you read, you don't take all the comments to heart, but there's always something that to get out of
Right.
the
Constructive
feedback that you're
criticism.
getting from your audience.
Okay.
Talking over each other a lot, where everybody's yelling. We got 5 guys on the bus.
There was a lot of that.
Should we do lay some ground rules when we're talking? Like maybe whoever's holding the bat gets to speak.
Okay.
All right. Well, if
We
you
can
get
toss it
Cameron
around.
to let go of it, sure. That'd be great. God,
You want that bat? You want it.
It's very cool.
It's a
bat.
gorgeous bat.
Hey,
great.
but-
And
I would also
Right.
like that bat, Taylor.
Mark,
I mean,
we got 2 of them. Mark, we can share
Hey,
it.
see if we got 2 bats in the
How
back.
about this? Let's try it because
See if we got 3 bats in the
Make it
back,
3.
It
boys.
sounds like
Yeah.
since we're on the subject of like DMT and expanding your mind and mushrooms
Okay.
and trying to learn, and I'm trying to learn always. So let's get better this time.
Let's get better. So where were you going before I had to try? And
It may be a little bit too
That was
insider
outstanding.
baseball or football rather for everyone. And we can make it just quick because not all of us are super up on college ball. But coming up this Saturday, Michigan is playing Nebraska, and these guys have created a Bussin Bowl out of their 2 teams, their respective colleges.
Right.
And whoever wins this, which is the heavily favored Michigan going into it,
Is it at Michigan?
It's at Michigan.
it's at Michigan. Nebraska is
No
not
chance.
doing so great this year.
Do you have your hat over your heart right now?
Well, yeah, it's just a big moment. I think, if anything,
moment of silence for the Bussin Bowl.
moment of silence for the
Sure.
Bussin
Why
Bowl.
not? Let's do-
All right. You know what? I'm gonna do a hard left turn here. I'm looking at this chicken with the Mike Tyson tattoo. We recently played,
Oh,
sold out. In
nice
fact,
transition.
the Greek Theater in Hollywood, California. Okay, that was a pinnacle show for us. That's
That's
kind of like the
outstanding.
Bussin Bowl for Midland.
That's
Actually,
And we are
Red Rocks was
up against
arguably.
ourselves.
Yeah.
So I
don't know who won
remember
yet.
when you guys played the Greek, I actually got a text saying, "Hey, do you want?" I was like 3 days out of surgery and got a text
Yeah,
from Cammy said,
yeah.
"Do you want to go?"
I think I was.
They
in
have
the
a
car when
great
you texted
handicap support there.
me. Yeah.
I said they had full handicap
Yeah.
support.
Because
And
you got the surgery done in LA.
Hey,
Yeah.
I got the
Midland,
surgery done in LA,
Midland
yeah.
is accessible. Okay, always.
It sounds like it.
We're on stage, 3 of us,
Yeah.
mid-show, and we look over, and who do we see standing side stage but Mike Tyson?
Was that your guys' show?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, just standing there.
I-
That's so cool.
I
So
walked
we-
immediately over to
But
him.
that's not even really. That's just a segue because the next night, Cameron and I literally watched an 1.5-hour YouTube clip of Mike Tyson's knockouts.
It took
And
forever.
An hour and a half
It goes
worth
so
of content.
It goes so deep. Like, I mean, you remember the big ones, but like all the in between ones where he just dismantled people. I mean, it was just
The toughest man to walk the face of the earth and compete in athletics, I think, has to be Mike Tyson. I think so.
Hang on.
That's
Say
a
that again.
strong
And I'm
statement.
only
Me
resisting
and
because
Jess-
that's a
That's a very strong
Let
statement.
me
That's a very
and
strong
let
statement.
me and Jess. We will die on that hill, because
Yeah, we
Just-
saw the clip.
we're going
If
together.
you guys watch this hour-and-a-half clip and you don't agree, then
Well, that's
The
a highlight
toughest-
tape.
Toughest.
yeah.
Because okay, here's what I thought.
But it's like
in my
border
head, when
fights.
you started saying before you said in sports, my first thought was David Goggins, but then he
Okay,
put sports in it.
I said sport athlete.
I wasn't thinking nothing other than like
Fighting.
we cannot sleep on 2-0 Evander Holyfield against Mike Tyson.
I know, but
built different.
Built different. It is what it is.
maybe he just knew how to fight Tyson.
His choices
I've never seen
led
the,
him not to be at his peak and at his prime. Like he went to prison for rape. Like that.
Oh,
Like that's what happened. He was in prison.
Allegedly.
He was avoiding.
allegedly.
I don't know, like if he was intentionally avoiding Evander Holyfield, but Holyfield was coming for him. Holyfield beat him twice.
Okay, can I
Watch that
offer
30 for
a
30.
little?
It's an incredible 30 for 30.
I saw that. I watched that on
Evander
a plane.
Holyfield
Yeah, I
is,
think we both
is
did.
the
Yeah,
biggest
yeah.
human being on the face of the earth. So Mike Tyson going to
Evander Holyfield.
Evander is twice as bro. His muscles on muscles. Like it's a totally different body type fighting each other,
Mhm.
which is again goes
Tyson's not a big
into
guy.
this. Mike Tyson
I mean, he's built like you.
going toe to toe.
He is.
What? My boy's just catching compies everywhere, dude.
Everywhere.
Sorry, was that chirpy?
No, Mark.
No.
I'm just laughing because
Mark, Mark, who's tougher than Mike Tyson in the world of athletes?
I think you know
Brady?
with the upcoming of UFC fighting, I think we gotta isolate it to boxing. But yeah,
That is not a bad.
I don't
No,
think
I'm going
I don't-
all
I don't
human
think-
beings that play
I
sports.
don't think there's any question in my mind that Mike Tyson was the most violent and vicious and efficient, fastest, most beautiful boxer to ever watch at his prime. I don't think it's
That
a
is
question.
extremely well said.
If you're
I-
talking,
well said,
if
but
you're
beauty
talking
took
about
me off.
toughness, if you're talking about Holyfield being able to take a punch and to go rounds and go deep in decisions and stuff like that, like, you know, you could talk about, there's an argument there. But if you're talking about pound for pound, the most entertaining,
I'm talking
the
about
most
tough.
beautiful, the most tough, the
You
most
gotta isolate the
brutal
boxer, dude. Like I think the whole
boxer in the
thing
history
is
is Mike Tyson. And by the way,
Who's tougher
Mike
than Mike?
is one of the greatest hangs. I got to hang with Mike this summer. I went to this charity dinner and sat at a table with Mike, and he's good buddies with a dear friend of mine, and I've got to know him a bit. And
Smith.
him and his wife Kiki, they're amazing people, man. Mike Tyson to me is one of the most inspiring people, not because of all of the awards and accomplishments he had as an athlete. It's more for the growth as a human, and that's why I also am trying to grow as a human, and I'm trying not to talk over Taylor this entire show.
Are hockey players tougher than boxers?
No.
No.
Okay.
I
Who's
don't
tougher
think
than a
it's
boxer?
They're pretty fucking tough.
I would say UFC fighters.
UFC
I mean, hockey
fighters.
players, it looks like they're punching hard, but I don't think they really are because they're on ice skates. You can't
But they're
get a
also bare
footing.
knuckled.
They're bare knuckled.
These guys that are playing
But
hockey are playing hockey since they're 4 years
How
old.
much footing can you get on ice skates?
Buddy, have you skated
It
before?
got to do with toughness
Not
though.
really.
Like you like
If you put I
street fight on
so
ice skates.
Are you Connor guys? Or you were?
I'm a big Conor McGregor fan. I think we're in a big
an
limbo with
entertainer?
as an entertainer, the way he talks,
Right.
shit talk. I think easily Mike Tyson is the most feared athlete of all time. Like when his
Okay.
prime, when dude, when he came out of
Can we
prison,
accept this?
when he came out of prison, bigger, more cut,
Right.
eating prison food,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was a scary human
all
being.
I can say
He
is
lost.
It was a buddy.
Doesn't matter.
He came
was
out
a-
and lost though.
I know. I watched the same thing with you.
I know, but I don't see.
I'm just he's a.
But
He's
this-
the most feared. Okay,
all-
Evander didn't fear him.
all I
Beat
can
him.
say is
Yeah.
this.
But Tyson
without-
also said he didn't want to be in that fight. He wasn't. He
Now
was like, I
without
was
me
out of it. I
talking
wasn't
over
ready.
Taylor, it's turned into some sort of
No, but
conflict
these
between
guys,
Will and
uh,
Taylor.
I don't disagree when he says in his prime there is nobody like more exciting to watch.
That's for you guys. This is us.
There's nobody more exciting to watch. I think he's right, but to say he's the best boxer of all time, I
didn't
think
say that.
I think it falls short
I
because
say he's the
Well,
toughest.
look,
The
all,
tough-
that's true, but
all
I
I-
think
I think he's the
toughest
greatest.
athlete of all
I
time.
think he's the greatest
I'm
of all
saying-
time.
Greatest athlete of all
He's the
time.
greatest.
I don't know.
Not athlete. Bo Jackson's the greatest athlete of all time.
That is a strong one.
That's
as
it.
well.
Greatest athlete of all time.
I think you
Did
you
you see
could be
Deion
right.
Sanders?
Or
Yeah.
Deion Sanders.
Deion
Yeah.
Sanders.
Did you see what
Bo
he
Jackson.
said?
Did
What
you
about
see
Usain
the
Bolt?
video
What
of Bo
about
Jackson?
see
Usain
that?
Bolt?
Did you see that?
No.
Somebody goes, "Hey Deion, who's the greatest athlete of all time? Are you or is Bo Jackson?" He goes, "Nah, my cousin what was his cousin's name?"
yeah.
He goes,
He
"Nah,
was a crack
my cousin Bobo.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a crackhead."
he said he's just the best athlete he's ever seen. He goes, two was me. Oh, he said Bo was two, one of the two.
And
I've
Dion's
literally seen
the
that.
funniest, the biggest character. Well, I think he's one of the biggest characters, greatest characters.
Oh,
of all
yeah,
time.
he's
He's like,
hilarious.
you know,
Is he
Conor
gonna
McGregor, Deion Sanders, like shit talkers and just entertaining guys. But
Is he gonna level
Bo
up?
Jackson, what he did if he didn't get
Oh
hurt,
yeah.
and just the stories and the lore about Bo Jackson are
Yeah.
unbelievable,
Dude,
man. I mean, just
remember-
watching him casually snap bats
over his
casually,
head.
over his head,
Run up
over
his head?
You don't have any
Bro, over
dude,
his
you don't
helmet
have
head.
any torque up here.
Helmet.
You don't have.
Dude.
Think about
You
this
pull that up for me. I don't think I've ever seen that video.
Dude,
Over
Are
his
you
head.
kidding me? There's
Quads
it's
and
a
baseball
compilation,
Do you
man.
guys-
Oh, I've seen him play.
Many snap bats.
do
over
you
your
guys
head. Think
remember
about the torque that takes? Sorry, I keep
the
hitting this.
Bo Jackson
There it
black
is.
and white
Look.
baseball
Watch this.
card?
Watch how mad he is. Okay. Watch. He kept the bat. He was going to beat somebody with it. And then he goes, no,
he's a
I'm going to do
peaceful
this. Here we
boy.
go.
Watch this.
Look at this torque.
Are you kidding
Oh
me?
my
That's superhuman.
We interrupt this episode to bring you another ad read, and that is Roman. Listen, it might be a sensitive subject, but it's very important that all of you. Wait, no. I can say that? All right, I just don't want to. It's a bit of a sorry. I didn't make sure that everything was all good over here, but 42%, that's almost half of men experience moderate to extensive hair loss in their lifetime. Roman offers both prescribed medications and over-the-counter treatments. Roman also offers specially formulated shampoos and conditioners. Research shows that 80% of men who are prescribed hair loss treatment had no further hair loss after 2 years. Getting started is simple. Complete a free online visit, then a U.S. licensed hair care professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, Roman ships it directly to you with a discreet packaging with free 2-day shipping. The whole process is straightforward and discreet. Treatments start at $20 per month on a quarterly plan. Right now, Roman has a special offer for our listeners. Go to ro.co/Bussin Boys and get 20% off your first order. That's ro.co/Bussin Boys for 20% off. Subscribe, rate 5 stars, and back to the episode.
Who was that guy who was the heavyweight champion, but also the golfer?
John Daly.
Yo, we met John. We met John.
Not the best guy ever.
Dude, so we were backstage.
It's scary to hang with
Yeah,
because you know,
dude.
like these days, like the hangovers hit different now that we're parents and stuff.
Not
Like
for
you know,
him.
not for him. That guy
We go-
never all gas, no brakes,
He
never
was-
let up.
It was
But
noon.
it's working. It's like the
Backstage.
Keith Richards diet. You know what I mean?
Some guys just have
like if
that.
you never stop and just always go full board. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
120 miles an hour.
I don't know if I never
2
stopped,
packs
I'd
of
be able to
Reds a
do it.
day. You know, sugar, booze.
Yeah,
doesn't
but I
matter.
mean, and he's got his body too is like pure.
Did you see they're
athletic,
making a movie?
pure fitness.
They're
It's
making a movie, and
unbelievable.
Jonah Hill is starring.
I love
Yeah, I
that.
saw that.
So, dude, when I first got to
That's gonna be fucking
Nashville in 2014, I was at Losers in Midtown, and John Daly was there with Steve Ford, who's the owner of Losers, and John Daly was hitting golf balls while some guy had a beer can balanced on his head off that guy's head.
Wow.
It was unbelievable.
I just saw a guy on one of my various golf Instagrams that I follow.
Yeah.
And
Big golf guy.
it's probably fuck boys or something. One of the like morons doing things.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of guys, and the guy is got his pants down on the tee box, and they put a long tee in his asshole,
In
and
his
his
ass.
friend tees off, but it's like it's not a soft tee, and it's a long tee, and he hits the tee,
And
and
it
it
goes
just
in his ass.
ripped his asshole open, dude.
Oh, wait. It was
That's a tough deal.
inserted
This is the
into his
kinda
asshole?
hard
Are you
hitting.
searching for it right now?
Let's not-
It'll make you pucker.
I'll
That
miss
hurts,
one.
man.
So fucking stupid.
What do you-
man.
What do you
Don't
search,
hemorrhoids
Jack? Do
before.
you go, guy?
Humans are
Have you
just
really?
getting
Asshole.
Stupider and stupider and stupider with all this
Yeah,
extra
but it
time
makes
we
it
have in
more
our hands.
fun. It
Wasn't
makes, it
his-
makes it all more fun.
He was.
Watch this.
Oh, I'm not
Oh, that thing went
He
deep.
just rips his
I
fucking
don't
ball.
think that would hurt.
Let's
I don't
try
think
it.
it would hurt
Let's
that
try
bad.
it.
If you're nasty,
Your butt is Mark.
Okay, so it's a whole thing. Oh God, girls are doing it.
I can't watch.
That looks like our agent. Oh,
Oh, he hurt her. What is?
Oh my God. Are you kidding me?
his ass.
Oh my God. Oh, I just spit. Oh my God.
Oh, look at him.
he's in pain.
Oh my! This is a thing people are doing now.
Do you guys golf?
Top golf.
No, I don't.
No golf.
Oh
Golf's
my
for people
God.
that have made it.
Uh,
I'll tell you what I want to do though.
Oh my God, this is horrible.
I'm gonna do this as soon as I'm probably a little farther down the road of ACL surgery or rehab. I'm gonna get my pilot's license. I am full bore on that. I've done 20 hours.
The
Before.
diversity of the things you're pursuing right now is just astonishing.
I have no direction, dude.
Yeah.
My life's the best. I have the greatest life of all time. I really
My
do.
old man was a fighter pilot, TAC pilot in the
That's
Marine
the
Corps.
coolest thing in the world to me.
We got into it early. I was such a huge fan of aviation. I thought for sure I was going to be a pilot. I got accepted to the Naval Academy to go play football for him out of high school. And the great story, I was at my sister's wedding before I was supposed to sign my papers, and my dad pulled me aside. We're wearing like tuxedos down at the ranch. And he goes, so we're proud of you. And you got the acceptance letter, and, you know, you got your nomination. I was like, yeah, thanks, Dad. You know, and he goes, but son, I don't think you should go. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, I think you have a major problem with authority.
Major problem with authority.
Because you're not going to do well in the military. So I didn't end up going, but I was always fascinated. I did 8 hours when I was in like college.
Yeah.
Towards my pilot's license. My twin brother went and got his license.
Does he have everything, instrument, all that stuff? He
The
can
whole
fly?
thing. Yeah.
That's
What is it
incredible.
called? VFR? Is it?
Yeah, there's different levels. Like you can get your first license. It has to be like certain, like they have to see
Single
visibility,
engine,
single engine,
right.
can't do anything. Then you get your instrument, and
rating.
then you can do a whole bunch of stuff. That's how you become a commercial pilot.
I did a lot of research in this because 2 years ago, I was like, oh, I'm going to take 2 months and learn how to fly so that we can fly everywhere private. But I pivoted. I went to sailing instead.
Really?
Can you imagine if Cameron was flying us everywhere the way that
The
he
problem
drives?
is you can't drink.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that is an issue. But I tell you what, dude, there is a Cirrus business jet. It's like $2 million.
Mm.
You three can sit in it comfortably, legs out like mine are right now,
Yeah.
and it can be piloted by one person. There's a parachute.
It's,
And if something
one
happens to you,
parachute.
It's
you
got
get
the
the V's.
detail. So
And
Oh, the
so-
plane has a parachute,
and
yeah.
I know you got the stick. I know you got the stick. But if something happens to you while you're flying, one of you can press a button. The plane will literally find the nearest airport and land there.
So wait,
No controls
could you
needed at all.
imagine
We're Midland's all drunk in the airplane and just fucking around. And
Hey,
somebody
we're
hits
not
the
going to
plane.
make it,
Is
boys.
this
We're not going to make
Is
it.
this a thing now?
Yeah.
Pull up the Cirrus business
Why,
jet.
why don't we just buy this?
Taylor, so they in Tucson, where I live now, at the airport, they
You
have a
live in
whole.
Tucson?
I live in Tucson now, yeah.
You need to live in Cave Creek.
They have Cave Creek is like subpar if you want to, you know, if you're not quite at the level.
Don't-
So they have
don't
a
take the bait.
squadron. They have a squadron of these in Tucson, and they're gorgeous.
Boys.
They have that's the one. They're all black. The ones
You can
in
literally
Tucson.
sit in a back seat, like if the
Guys,
pilot isn't
So
right
let me
here.
ask you this. So my twin brother he's vacillated back and forth, and he had
Jack, find the
he
price
said the
on those.
scariest thing ever was doing his first solo. He flew to New Mexico and back.
Yeah.
And once you're up there by yourself and you realize that you got to land that motherfucker, there's that moment of the panic kind of swells
Yeah.
up, and then you have to revert to your training and how much you actually studied. It's like the one test you don't want to fucking
You
don't want to
fail.
cheat on, right? You can't fail that test. And then my dad, 2 tours in Vietnam, decorated combat pilot. He used to fly everywhere with his partner. They had a twin engine turboprop Cessna in the 80s.
Gone up here.
They were flying back from Park City in the 80s, and they flew through a thunderstorm, albeit the radar and stuff is not, what we have
What it
now.
is
It's
now,
so
yeah.
much better, right? But they lost an engine, and it scared the fuck out of my dad. And he had, he had 6 kids, and he was like, yeah, I'm done. That was it.
I hope to God my wife
This man
doesn't
survived.
hear what you just said.
Well, sorry to.
Oh,
Yeah,
brother, I think
yeah.
I'd
my
rather
twin brother says the same thing,
drink
but
and
then
play
he
golf
comes
than
back
fly.
like 3 or
Boys,
4 years later, and he
yeah.
gets back and do
Boys,
it.
yeah.
So
Join,
I have the
join
same
me on the
destination.
sailboat.
Buddy, I don't know about sailboats, homie.
Well, you're
I'm not
you're
relying on
you're
wind.
a beach guy.
$2 million?
And he's
I'm a
lake
beach guy. I'm a
You're a beach guy.
but I'm a
And
beach
You can
guy.
do it with both. You can
I
get
don't-
off
I
the
don't
beach.
disagree with
That's
that.
$2 million?
How much was that
It's
jet?
$3.5 million.
Okay,
So what's the
1.5 more.
operating cost annual? I'm just curious.
300,000.
For maintenance,
Yeah,
not
And who's
including gas.
maintaining it?
not including that gas. The place you park your
Yeah,
plane
you get a
at.
hanger and
got-
it comes
you
with
got- you don't have a
mechanics and
guy?
everything. Yeah, it's
You gotta have a
one of
guy.
the boys. One of the
But
boys.
okay, so if you're
He
not
knows
using it,
guys.
you guys go tour for 3 months.
We'll bet.
You can lease this out and it'll pay for itself, and you'll make money off
or
it too.
what's 3.5 million divided by 5? I mean, we just
Boom.
we go in on one and.
I mean,
Fit 5 guys in
Can
it?
you fit
You can
Taylor
fit 5
Lewan
in
in
there.
that?
Well, I mean, like they'll use it.
Wait, homie, I fit in there. I'm losing. You see, I'm losing weight. I'm
Yeah,
down
you
20.
do look fit, man.
Who's
I appreciate
flying
it.
it?
to
I
test
missed
the
that
back.
part.
I know. I need
know
it back
what?
so bad.
Actually, this is a question that I don't know. What do sports teams all have jets?
They
or
charter.
They charter
Yeah.
jets.
Yeah, it depends on the sport. Like I think basketball, they have like nice planes. Like there's
In
only
the
like
NBA,
30
they could
seats.
get on like some private jets.
Yeah,
like
but
private jets.
we're on United, sitting in the
No.
back. Yeah.
No, you're kidding.
No,
I
you're
mean,
not.
it's not. Well, yeah, we charter like
though.
a
Charter,
yeah,
it's just the
public-
team and players and stuff
we're
like
not
that.
in the
No,
airport.
I got an
commercial.
additional question now because this is exciting. This is good. Yeah, I like this. It's a good path here. What's the hierarchy? Who sits where? Do you guys have a manifest?
So it depends on what team. I know Willie's had experiences with the Saints where they get to sit in players
They
sit
let
in
the
first
players
class.
sit in first class.
On the Titans, that
But
is
there's-
not going to
first
happen.
class is only like
Yeah, I mean, how big is the first
It'll
class?
be
class?
it'll be like vets and starters. The
Mhm.
oldest, the starters, and then like the oldest guys on the team.
okay.
But if you're a rookie and you're a starter, you're still going to sit in a middle seat if you have to. You're still going to have to sit with somebody.
Okay,
So you
so
get up in the ranks, you can have your whole aisle to yourself if you want.
So I got a question because I was just watching Minnesota and Kirk. They're going. What? They're 7-1 now. Is that right? Or is it 8-1?
Yeah.
And the big you saw it, the huge
the
celebration
chains and all that?
the chains and everything, and he's dancing.
That's right here.
Kirk Cousins, right? So is that? And it looks like everybody's got champagne. Like you boozing?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody having drinks.
Hey, win or lose, we still booze on the
Yeah,
plane
you're
on the
having
way
a
back.
drink. It's just like Midland after
Guys-
a show.
guys
Like,
will
you
have
gotta have
Ubers
you
on the
gotta
way
have
back.
A drink or two
Yeah.
to come
Yeah.
down, right?
Oh yeah.
So-
Everybody's drinking on the plane. Not everybody, but
Yes, after
a
the
lot of
Greek.
people are drinking on the plane.
Guys are drinking.
This was us at the Greek Theater with Mike Tyson.
There it is.
So that's
Dude,
a commercial jet.
That's a commercial
but it's-
plane. That's like your United, your Delta plane. But they charter it,
What's
so
the
it's just players. And
What's the
and
craziest thing that you've witnessed on one of these flights?
do you want to go first? I got one in the pocket right here.
What?
We were flying.
That's nice.
We had to go. We had to go to London to play against the Chargers. Will was on the team. He had a hamstring thing. He
How
couldn't
shit
make
is
the
that
trip.
deal, by the way? We were just talking about
It
this.
is.
It
So
seems tough.
what I'll say about it is like 4 years later, I'm stoked. I think it's awesome. I got to play in London.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. They literally cheer harder for the punts than they do the touchdowns.
Week of though.
But
Yeah.
you leave on a Thursday.
They
like,
recognize that. They're
that-
like, yeah, we get
they
that.
like,
we
the,
like
they
that
like the
move.
foot on the ball. When the foot hits the ball,
They're like, that
they
makes
are
sense.
about that situation.
The punter and the
Yeah.
kicker.
Yeah.
Are
Those
like the
fucking guys
stars.
are through the roof.
Yeah, they're just watching that.
But when you fly there, like you
Like,
practice.
he'd be a good soccer player.
Yeah. Well, you practice Thursday, you get on a plane, you basically take 2 Ambien, you pass out, you land in London.
If I took 2 Ambien, I'm not waking up for a week.
Okay, you take all Ambien. You
Okay.
take something to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Cameron's got a great story about his mom taking Ambien and not actually going to sleep.
We'll hit that next. So you literally you practice in London, you practice in the States, sleep on the plane to London, get to London, you literally go drop your bags off and you go immediately practice because you just landed Friday morning.
Brutal deal.
Once you do that, you have to stay up till 7:30. And then after that, like literally that whole day is miserable. You're so tired, you're walking around like a zombie. The next day you wake up and
You
you
beat
kind
the
of
jet
you
lag.
kind of beat the jet lag. It's pretty
Yeah.
incredible.
Okay.
If
So
you
my-
stick to the system though,
If
because
you do the system.
if you go to sleep,
If you're Russell Wilson doing high knees, I guarantee he had jet like he lied about. Like that's I gotta tell you that thing about him too.
Yeah.
off
We
the
forgot
record,
to talk about that. No. On the we can do it on the record. But the
the crazy
craziest thing
thing-
I've ever seen on a plane is on the plane to London, they did give the players the first class seats, and we had the nice lay down ones. But on the way back, it's like everybody stay up. You have to stay up the whole time. So everyone is partying like crazy.
Yeah.
We lost like a last second couple of plays. Incredible, right? It's
What is
Duke,
that?
Yeah.
Duke Cannon.
Just give it a smell.
Is this
Go
the
ahead.
soap?
No, that's the cologne.
Oh, I thought you had dip.
It could do a little guy here.
Yeah.
You guys don't dip, do you?
I use Zins. Have you done
Zen boy.
Zins?
Do you have Zen?
I don't do
Oh,
it.
I have a lot of Zins. You want one?
He's a Zen boy.
I'm a
I'm on a Zender.
I'm a
I was
Zen.
just accusing Mark of being a Zen boy this morning.
Pass that over.
Yeah, my wife. If
Does
she'll
it
go,
good for your hair though? Is it
did you dip?
feel like it's
Did you dip? I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I didn't dip.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good.
Circle
Yeah,
shape.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
The
so-
Zins are the
oh,
move.
good for the
So,
scalp.
okay.
You're
too.
finishing here.
So we're on the plane.
about it. Okay, sorry.
We're on the plane on the way back, and I guess I can say is smoking a blunt on the plane
Oh,
on a commercial flight.
Whoa.
Smoking a blunt. A flight attendant comes up to him and says, "Excuse me, sir, you can't do that here." And he goes, "Oh, okay." Puts it out, walks away. She still can see him. Lights it back up, and didn't care the rest of the time.
Okay.
That plane was hotboxed the entire way from London back to the States. It
Wait,
was.
when you say commercial, like there were other people.
No, it's a commercial plane.
Right,
I keep
okay.
getting that mixed up.
Yeah, yeah.
It's only Titans and Titan personnel
yeah,
people,
right.
but like the whole plane,
Chartered.
the whole way back,
Does
it's
the
like loud
captain-
music's playing.
The captain
People are
must
drinking.
not
It's
like
like it's like a little club in there. It's unbelievable.
That's
What?
not
That
fun.
sounds like so much fun,
It
dude.
is.
Where
it
are the
is fun.
cheerleaders?
Was it a
They
747?
take their own flight, I
Yeah,
think.
they take their own plane.
Yeah.
Was it a 747 with like the bar and stuff?
No, it wasn't a 747, but it was
Good
a big enough plane where like you had a full lay down situation. It wasn't where you had your like a little apartment thing, but you could almost lay down. It was decently nice.
Guys are partying the whole time.
The
They're
whole
playing,
time.
Like the G, like
You're
when
playing
I was
dice, you're
when
playing
we-
poker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when we were
Oh,
flying back and I
boo.
was on Washington, Scott McLuhan and all the boys are like playing cards. Like one time, guys were walking off the plane talking about how they lost 150 grand on the plane playing dice and playing cards.
Yeah.
It's
Playing cards.
wild.
Yeah.
So one more, because we're talking about that kind of stuff. One of the like biggest bummer things I remember hearing around a Super Bowl game was, I can't remember what team it was, but it was reported that where the visiting team or one of the teams where the hotel they were staying in, somebody pulled the fire alarm. And at 3 a.m, they all had to get up, go outside of the hotel.
I never leave when that happens,
evacuate
by the way.
the hotel.
You're saying
I
you
mean-
heard that story?
Yeah.
That happens.
Number one, has that ever happened? Number two, how much would that mess with you if that happened?
I've slept
before
through
before the Super Bowl.
We've slept through at least 100.
Back in the day, we didn't care. I had nothing to live for.
There's nothing to do.
When
Did
we
you
were
ever have that happen to you in a away game?
No, that's never happened to us on an away game.
But I mean,
but I have like
that would
heard
be
those stories.
sabotage.
That would be sabotage.
Every single time we played Ohio State, that happened. Every single time. That fire alarm would go off in the hotel we were staying at.
But imagine the Super Bowl with the pressure you already have on you.
Yeah, I mean, we were one game away from the Super Bowl. One fucking game.
Yeah.
God damn
Fucking
it.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Yep.
God.
Yeah,
Bad body baller.
every year you guys play Ohio State, you get the fire alarm.
We only been there twice. So
The Buckeyes
those two
gave you the
times.
brown eye.
Yes.
What's your crazy story?
That was it. Like the GM
Lost 150 grand.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a story. There's no story of somebody ripping.
Can I tell you?
a
Can I
blunt.
share a story?
I guess I would have been on the plane.
You would have been on that plane.
Yeah.
You would have been on that plane.
Yeah, I would have been
But
on
I remember
it.
you
I
being
got the
so
finesse.
happy you didn't have to
Dude, I
go.
was finessed.
Hey, Will,
I mean, I tore my
Cameron asked you a
hamstring, but-
question.
No, I'm trying to figure out how to segue
He's
into
asking
this.
for permission.
I heard a story back in my music video directing days. The director of photography, the camera guy,
Mhm.
the head of that department,
DP, if you will.
He's the DP. He'd been around for. I told you guys this story. He'd been around for years.
Mhm.
He was like a tenured badass dude from New York, and he came up as Wu-Tang's videographer. And remember this? And we were sitting at lunch, and I was like, dude, like, what's your story? And he goes, yeah, I came up with Wu-Tang. And I'm like, oh, no, dude, those guys are crazy, obviously, right?
Mm.
Like, you know, there's some of them are dead, and the stories
Back
just
in the
go
day,
all
yeah.
forever. Yeah, he's like,
God.
tells me this story, the craziest thing that ever happened to them. They get a private gig or something like that in Florida, so they got a charter from New York down to Florida. So they get in a 16 passenger jet, right?
Big jet.
Yeah, big jet, big PJ. And they get in C5. And this guy's with them because he's their videographer.
Mhm.
And he said immediately they fire up and they start smoking crack
Oh my God.
in the plane. And the pilot is like, throws the door open after a while because he thinks it's like weed. Oh, yeah, I'm hip. We're
Yeah.
fine. And then realizes, uh-oh. He throws the door open. He's like, put that shit out right now. He's like, this is like, put it out. Like,
Yeah.
I can't, I'm getting secondhand. By the time it comes to landing this plane, the pilot is high on crack.
Oh my God.
He's tweaking. Okay.
He landed the plane.
He lands the plane
I have anxiety right now. listening to this, dude.
and they open the deal. And the guy had landed in the parking lot of the airport. Okay. Because he's so high. He's wigging. He goes, get the fuck off of here. I'm going to lose my license. Holy shit, he's tweaking. Woo, woo, woo. Sirens. They're coming, right? And he's like, if you got anything on this plane right now, you better get fucking rid of it. They're like, we're Wu-Tang. We have things.
Yeah.
Not only are they obviously carrying, like, whatever that they've been smoking, they've got like suitcases full of cash and guns.
Contra.
Oh my.
So these fools
God.
are like in taxi cabbing like the shit. And apparently they got out before the black car airport cops.
Yeah, you got to.
Showed up
That was
in
a
the
rough road.
SUV.
You almost got on there.
Almost the black car SUV airport cops.
Thank
Are they
God
feds?
we got
I don't
into
know.
that.
They're
That was
feds.
turbulent.
That was turbulent. Ooh, but we made it. So when you get your pilot's license,
Don't smoke crack.
I think smoking pot in the
Careful.
back may be okay. I've never been high on secondhand smoke from marijuana,
And landed a plane.
but I
Careful
feel
who you let
like
fly in that 6
crack cocaine. You inhale the secondhand smoke of it, and it will make you high.
Remember we met Ghostface in
damn.
Nashville?
Raekwon.
Oh, we met Raekwon,
We met Raekwon.
back in the day.
He's
And
super nice.
dude, he was the dopest guy. We met him outside the hotel. We were coming in for a meeting and
Yeah.
ended up chatting with him for like
Mark
30
saved
minutes.
us once.
From
Oh, from potentially a hostile takeover on a Southwest
God.
flight.
Yeah.
Randall,
listen, we-
Randall,
here's a great,
hostage takeover on a Southwest
no,
flight?
here's a great
You
story.
know
of
what?
This is the most random podcast I think we've ever done.
We literally
gonna
landed
figure it out.
in. We had a layover.
Yeah.
We had a year. This is years ago. It's like 6 years ago. We had a layover in Vegas, and we were
There's some
still.
truth
This
to the
is
story,
before. This is before we had any. We were still dead broke. We were on radio tour. We've been on the road for like that year. I think we, including all the radio performances, we did like 360 shows in 1 year.
Jesus.
It was insane. Every one of us had like a mental breakdown, anxiety attacks. Like, we were just running on empty the whole time. So we have a layover and our flight gets canceled. That we have a 6 hour layover in Vegas. So we get out, and what do you do when you have a 6 hour layover? You go to the Hooters casino.
$5 blackjack, $5 crap.
You go have the best wings, and you go to the $5 blackjack tables.
Because they're the only guys we got.
And,
you smoke a lot of pot.
We forgot to smoke pot while we were there during the 6 hour layover, but I remember that had this joint.
No, you didn't?
No, Mark. Yeah.
Well, let me finish the story. I had this joint, but back in the day, like it was a little bit different. Like traveling with pot, like it still was basically illegal in almost every state in the union. So I was like, oh my god! So fire up this joint and just pipe this thing, just powerhouse it, right? Then get in the car. And immediately realized within about 10 minutes that I got way too high.
Yeah.
And I'm like, super hungover. I'm exhausted.
Put this entire joint down.
So I get on this plane, and I'm convinced that there's...
I gotta just say my part.
Go ahead.
Because this is chronological.
Story.
So for my part of this, I sit on this plane, and I'm not going to go into too much description, but the guy who sits down next, this is back when we're flying coach, sardine, sardine class.
Southwest is maybe the best airline.
And so I'm in the window.
Don't fly it much anymore, but it's great.
So I'm like, trapped over in the window, and then the guy who sits in the middle seat, I've never in my life gotten a vibe, and I didn't even smoke pot. But the vibe I was getting off this guy
Lord knows I did.
Was like the sketchiest. Like it's just there were so many like
combat boots,
red flags with this guy. Like
in there was cargos,
like really like fidgety the whole time, and just like
we're not gonna
like combat gear. But listen, there was potentially when you're as high as I was, you get a sixth sense, okay? And I'm sitting there. And all of a sudden, I decide that something's going to go down, and it is now my job.
He's also looking. He is also looking.
There's two guys, and they're communicating. They're sending text back and forth from the back to the front of the plane, right?
He thinks that
everybody's surrounded.
So for some reason, because I'm tuned in, like I'm really high, right? And I'm just like, I'm seeing this, and I'm like, oh my god, this is it.
Mark, by the way, is 8 rows ahead of us. Okay,
Right.
He's not even like.
So I'm freaking out. Okay, I'm too high. All right, I smoked sativa. I don't usually smoke sativa. I powerhouse this entire joint. Listen, I know now I've learned my limits. I'm a one puff guy for an edible, indica, really mellow. I like just a touch of anything. I don't like getting too drunk. I don't like getting too high. I don't like doing any of that stuff. And okay, just picture yourself just being the most hungover, exhausted, and the highest you've ever been. And
That's
sometimes when you're too high on pot, it's like the scariest drug in the world.
Oh yeah, it's the absolute
mentally.
Yeah,
the
it's
heaviest.
like
So
trip to
I
the
decide
hospital.
that these two guys are gonna like try to take over the plane or something. It's gonna be like a hostage scenario. So like I just go into straight like my dad Marine Corps mode, and I just start as soon as we take off, and as soon as they say the seatbelt sign gets up, I get up and I start patrolling the plane.
So here's where I come into
face.
Dude, I'm patrolling the plane in cowboy boots.
It's a 4-hour flight. It's
all denim. I've got a Wrangler vest on. I put my cowboy hat back on.
It's a 4-hour flight. Boys. Okay, so here's where I splice into
Where are you
this
flying
story.
to? Vegas to where?
Vegas to Pensacola. It's 4 hours.
Yeah, that's a tough
okay.
flight.
I wake up because I had been drinking heavily
Yeah.
in Vegas.
I've been drinking.
Which has never happened to anybody before.
Never.
So I wake up. By the way, can we talk about how dry your mouth gets on a flight when you fall asleep? It's
Hydrate,
insane.
dude.
It's tough.
So a
liter of fluid an hour.
like fireman fucking Bill, and I wake up and I open my eye, and Mark is doing this thing. What's Mark doing? He's walking as slow as you possibly can walk on this plane, and he's patrolling this way. I'm facing this way, and he's got his hands for whatever reason, probably stabilizing.
Yeah, stabilizing.
He's running his hands
This is a
across
bumpy flight.
all the baggage bins.
It's so good. That's so dirty.
And he's looking.
dirty.
He's looking at every single person in every row.
I'm scanning now.
Scanning, and he makes eye contact with me, and I go, "What's up?" And he goes, he passes me.
Oh, he just looks at you.
He goes
I
back.
had that look. I had that dog in me.
By the time he sits down,
He's like, brother, you don't want to
I'm
know what
looking
I'm
at
doing
him
right
like
now.
this.
I didn't want to ruin Cameron's world at this point,
He's
dude.
sitting in front of me.
I didn't want to invite him into the hell I was in.
He's 3 in front and like 1 across, and we're both aisle seats. Like, Mark, I can't. I'm so confused. I've been asleep for hours now. I have no idea what's going on.
Not me.
And
I was at full
Mark,
attention.
this is the look
High
Mark
alert.
gives me when he turns back at me. He goes like this.
Just the fingers.
Yeah.
I check my text. All right, can't get a hold of Jess.
Yeah.
But there's a couple suspicious guys on the plane. I'm keeping an eye on them. Just watch me if anything goes down.
How much anxiety immediately?
Dude,
The most.
I'm already the
Karen
most.
suffers from anxiety.
Bro,
Especially this
and
time in our lives.
especially flying too. I had, I always travel with a little helper guy, a little Xanax guy.
Yeah.
Like I keep it in there. I never take it, but knowing I have it.
Zanny?
So I'm
Yeah.
fishing around. Oh fuck. Oh, thank God I got the Xanax in here.
Yeah.
Pull it out. It's a pebble that's been in my pocket for a year. Who knows what happened to the Xanax? Who knows what happened to that bad boy?
Oh my God.
Safe to say, we got to Pensacola. Nothing happened, thankfully, to Randall Storm.
And by the
patrolling.
time we landed, the weed had worn off. And
Oh no, Mark, you still believed. I remember distinctly going to baggage claim in the
That is
story
true.
that you gave us.
But Jess did.
That's true. It's kind of like
Corroborated
that's
it.
true. But just
No,
think.
I mean, Mark.
vibe. Jess did have a vibe, and he wasn't.
I mean,
stoned.
after this all happened,
You
I was
described the dirt on the guy's
Where were
boot.
you during the flight? Did you notice what
I
was
was
going on?
sitting next to the guy.
Yeah, Jess
Oh,
was one
Yeah.
of the two
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
So
okay.
I was just blown away that somebody else, especially somebody who's sitting 10 rows ahead of us, like also could get this vibe off this guy. But the best part was when Mark was going up and down the aisle patrolling, he didn't want to draw too much attention, so he would look at the guy through the corner of his eyes. And he would just pass by, and his eyes would have to go like farther and farther.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you ever see Midland on your flight, you can rest assured you are very safe. So then we were all joking. We went to our favorite pub in Pensacola. What's it called?
Can you see me?
What's the pub called that we go to?
Oh,
The
dude.
Irish pub in Pensacola.
oh,
It's,
the
it's where all the
best.
fly boys go. My dad
Nick-
used to go there when he
starts
got
with
his.
an M.
My dad went to flight school in Pensacola. So it's like
Malone's?
all the Navy Marine Corps.
Malone's.
No.
What is it called?
It's not called Malone.
I'll think of it.
Google the Irish
guys-
pub Pensacola
you
where they
guys-
have all the dollar bills. They
I'm
have like
picturing
McGuire's.
McGuire's Irish pub.
That's
It's
it.
if you ever in Pensacola, it is one of the great pubs and bar experiences
time.
in the world. They have something like $2.3 million of dollar bills on the walls and the
you sign it,
ceilings.
you put it on the
like
deal.
an old
dollar bill
post.
and get in there.
Yeah,
What's it called? Pony post? What's those things called?
something like that.
Yeah, but it's real money. It's been insured in case the place ever burns down. It's
Really?
been going for years and years. All the
Live
all
music.
the pilots go there. Live music. It's a great place. So
Jack,
we came up with the name. My nickname
This is an
that day was
aggressive-
Randall Storm.
it's Randall Storm.
Yeah.
That's because he's a
Air,
protector.
Air Deputy Marshal Randall Storm.
Deputy Marshal.
Sergeant Marshal Randall Storm.
And to this day, I think that I never smoke that much pot anymore ever again.
Well, you kind
it
of
was
had
unbelievable.
to smoke that much pot because
It was
Because it
I
was legal,
literally
right?
I roped a dope straight to the dome.
Straight
in
to the
about,
headpiece.
in about 5 minutes because we were running late. All of a sudden, we had a 6-hour layover, and of course, we're about to miss our flight now. But we didn't say I won like $600.
I'm sensitive to the
Unbelievable.
pot.
Off like $20 or $30 like I took out. 'Cause
That's
I
all.
had-
I don't
That's a
recall.
positive day.
Blackjack or poker for you guys, or are you craps guys?
I like craps. I think
I
it's,
do
it's
too.
the social game of craps.
sport.
You lose,
It's
it's,
so
a team
social.
sport.
So
And
fun.
then you got that do not pass line. Some asshole comes on that, and then okay, well, now we have somebody to hate.
You got a loud voice, so craps is your guy.
I do, but I last time I was in Vegas, the boys do an online trip every single year. We went to Vegas and we start, hey, craps table. That's what we're gonna do. So we get our table. We're all there. We start rolling. We absolutely get dummied. Like I lost $2,000 like that. Like to the point where I was like, I've been here for 45 minutes.
That's the worst.
Like
out of the gates.
So I bailed on that and hit blackjack the rest of the time, which I had maybe the most incredible hand in my life. I always go to Vegas with like the thought process of I'm willing to lose this much money and be
You
okay
have
with
to.
it.
Responsibly.
That's it.
Yes.
So my end of the year thing was $10,000. If I lose 10,000,
Right.
then that's it. No more. I can't lose any more than that. I was down to my last $2,500 and I had a credit line. I'm on the blackjack table. I get a 7 or I get 2 sevens. Got to split it. So I have to go, hey, let me get 2,500 more. They give me 2,500 more. Now I'm past my $10,000 mark.
Yeah.
Get another 7.
Mm-mm.
So you got to split that.
Are you supposed to split sevens?
Against what?
It was
depends on what you're
it was
against.
against the 4.
sevens?
It was against the 4.
Mark, it's
Against
just
the four?
all about what you're splitting it against.
Yeah, it's all, and I'm a super conservative. Like I'll hold on
He's a
15
Republican.
sometimes.
Okay.
Very
No,
Republican with that.
But I'm super conservative on the poker table. So like I end up getting 4 sevens.
Wow.
Yes.
Lucky.
First one, nickel and dime my way all the way to 21.
Yeah.
How much money's on the table at this
So
point with the bet?
2,500. No, it's 10
Split
grand.
4 times.
It's
Wow.
10 grand. I
You
have
have
10 grand on the table.
on the
I'm
table.
already about to lose my 10 grand. So I'm about to be in the hole
Another 10.
close to 20.
Oh, yeah.
Close to 20 at this point. So your boy, I'm sweating.
Yeah.
But you nickel and dime to 21.
I nickel and dime
The
the first
one.
one to 21. I nickel and dime the second one to 21.
That's tough.
I nickel and dime the third one
Your
to
butthole
21.
is so
I am now
tight.
hit 321s. I'm living the fucking dream. The next card that flips over on that 7 is a 4. Got a double.
Oh,
Got a
my
double.
God.
Give me another 2,500. Face card.
$12,500 down.
And just like that, I was back.
I love that.
It was the greatest. I had all my friends around
That
me.
is the greatest
We
thing.
were like 4 to
Were you
5
crying?
tequilas in.
Oh, my God.
Dude, it was like one of those
Elated.
like, yelling.
Yeah, you couldn't believe
we're
it.
joining the table, the boys are high fiving. It was maybe my greatest gambling moment of my entire life.
I've had those
I would
moments.
argue you're in a moment like that, like maybe one of the best vibes of all time.
The feeling
Like
you
your
get.
It's like winning the Super Bowl. I mean, it's like
I would
it's like
assume
it's
that's
elation.
exactly what it's
Think
like
about
winning
it.
the Super Bowl. I would
Elation.
assume.
What moment? Yeah, outside of like winning the World Series or Super Bowl or
Right.
something like that. Like when else are you feeling something like that?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
And
There's
that's why
nothing like
that's
when-
why Vegas is built up so big. Like
Dude.
the allure of experiencing that, the quick money.
There's
It's
nothing
unbelievable,
like.
but it's smart to have that. That is
Gotta
that's
have
what
your
I
number.
do.
You gotta
I
have
set
your
my
number.
down, and then you have to walk away because there's always that. I'll double it back. I'll get it back.
Yeah.
I can. I can win
I
back.
give myself 1 or 2 of those.
I do too.
Yeah.
You gotta have a buffer to your buffer.
Like if I lose money, if I lose money right away,
will
I'll
just
get, I'll
play.
get to the
Everything in
I'll get
moderation,
to,
including
roulette.
moderation.
I'll get the roulette and just bet on the outside, and I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I like
it's fine.
roulette, too.
When you go
Battle
bowling,
back
you don't
and
put
roulette.
one
Fun.
bumper up.
You're-
You put
you're a
2
roulette
bumpers
guy?
up.
That's true.
I've hit my number like twice.
Have you heard Pat
I don't play
McAfee's?
numbers on roulette, dude.
You know what? One time,
Red or black, odd or even. If I lose, I double back.
I mean,
Triple back.
if you hit a number
Yeah.
on
And then you hit
roulette,
and you're up.
Till I get back to till I get back to.
It's
Hey,
like
what
what,
number on
40,
roulette since I've never done
49.5% chance?
I'm
I've
not a
done it
roulette
like
guy.
twice, and if that happens, you kind of chase that feeling like forever.
there's nothing like when.
The vibes.
You like that, huh?
Yeah,
That's Duke Cannon, not for clowns.
We interrupt this episode to tell you happy Thanksgiving from the boys to you. This ad read is brought to you by the one, the only Duke Cannon, the presenting sponsor of our Bussin Bowl trophy a couple weeks ago. The Duke Cannon Holiday Collection features scents that men actually like and packaged in keepsake boxes to be cherished for weeks. Bring great smiling holiday cheer to any stocking, white elephant exchange, or gift-giving occasion, or just buy it for the entire locker room if you're one of the boys. Made in the USA by humans, not elves, unlike the cranberry spice candle, you'll actually appreciate these scents after December 25th. That's Christmas. A portion of the proceeds benefit veterans and active duty military. You can purchase anything in the Duke Cannon Holiday Collection at DukeCannon.com and at Target stores everywhere. The Big Ass Brick of Soap, the holiday names and scents, I will go ahead and say, a legally cut pine soap, a fresh pine scent. Rudolph's much deserved nightcap soap. That's a cinnamon and antique wood scent. I know you can smell it right now just hearing my words. Check out Duke Cannon at any Target or on DukeCannon.com and use code BUSSIN for a generous 15% off. Maybe you look to do it this Black Friday season. That's DukeCannon.com. Use code BUSSIN for 15% off your first order. Duke Cannon, not for clowns. Back to the episode.
I want to talk more about your guys' music, and I know it's probably not your most favorite category to talk about.
We like
but I
to
know
talk
We're
about
the
it.
worst at self promotion. Every interview we do, we just end up just joking and bullshitting.
Buddy,
and
I
then we
remember
don't
at
do any-
Soho
we don't
House.
do any-
the bit at Soho House was
I
like
feel bad
one of
for
my
them.
most fun times I've had.
That was the fun night.
That was an outstanding night. To give you guys your flowers, I think what you guys do, it's twangy enough to almost like you're making fun of it a little bit. I like it.
Really?
I love it. I love the direction you guys are headed, which is what I want to talk about with the country music stuff is you guys could easily just go sell out, put a couple beats on your music, and then all of a sudden
I actually
you're
think
on multiple radios. But you guys don't do that.
No, I think actually the inverse or the reverse of what you might think would happen, it would happen to us.
really.
If we did that now, we would lose everything. We would lose the fans that we currently have.
Yes, I think that would happen.
And then fans that we don't have would listen to us and be like, this doesn't sound like these guys. This doesn't sound like authentic to these guys. And, or, we wouldn't get fans that would last. So
Even
it
if
would
we-
blow up in your face like a firecracker.
You think
Even if
so?
we knew
Oh,
we were going to
1000%.
get paid, we still wouldn't do that.
And
You know
that
what I mean?
is,
That'd be like you
I appreciate
playing
that about you.
football in a way that you felt was demeaning to your character. You know what I mean?
it is
Like-
a little different. The game, like football,
I got a price for anything.
No, I mean, but the style
I
of
know Will's
which
price.
you
Yeah.
play, not
He
the
told me.
team, not the team, but like
It's a
the
good price.
way you
It's good money.
play on the field. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Dirty?
Yeah.
Just win.
I have a bit of a different perspective of that because I think it's really actually difficult to put a finger on the Midland sound because I do think that our influences are quite vast and spans across genres. From rock and roll to R&B to soul. There's elements of gospel. There's bluegrass, the blues. Good old country and Western. It's all kind of fused in there. So I think that what happens is when people and artists will take like an outside song or they'll take the direction of a record label or an A&R guy or girl and a producer, and they'll kind of let them take them out of their realm of authenticity. So I think you actually do have quite an expansive circle to make music that not everybody can say is like that one thing. Because I think that's actually putting yourself in a little bit of a box.
But you said a difference of opinion to whose opinion?
Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe, what were you guys saying? Maybe just adding to. I had a thought to put onto it. And I do think that Midland, what the fun thing about that is having three artists and three different perspectives, it does expand that sound and that idea. And it's who knows the direction where we're going to go. But for me personally, I feel like our latest album, The Last Resort, Greetings From, has been an evolution and a progression for us. And I think with every album, starting chronologically to the Sonic Ranch, then to On the Rocks, then to Let It Roll, then to The Last Resort, I think you're seeing like a progression in the quality of the songwriting and also in the sonic quality of it. I think it is expanding and growing. But I understand that people, when you're first exposed to an artist, it's that first impression, right? It has a profound impact on you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of you guys' music. I love what you guys do. I think your biggest selling point is the three of you, though. It's you guys playing beer pong in the audience at an award show. It's you guys you're the style you guys do, and people look at it and they're going like, what are they up? What are they doing? What are they up to? You guys carry yourself in a way that people are going to be attracted to, and that's going to bring you to your music. And I think when you look at what you guys do, how you guys act, and how you guys are approaching things from the outside looking in, or from the outside, you can see like it matches up with your music perfectly.
Thank you, dude. That's very sweet of you to say.
I'm with it.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Okay, Will, and now you.
No,
Will, what do you got?
Piggybacking off Taylor.
I like to just kind of repeat a couple of things.
What he said.
It's hard.
To say what he's saying or not to. Taylor does love you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
when
think
I
it's fantastic.
He was like meeting up with you guys. Like I remember my first year here, and I think we were over at man, where was it?
Urban Grub?
Spotify party.
Oh, okay.
A couple years ago.
Old Red.
At Old Red. Yeah. And you guys were back. You guys were back somewhere, and Taylor was just so stoked to go back and like hang out with you guys and stuff like that.
Yeah, we met at the.
Taylor does love the Midland boys a lot.
I love I really love the vibe.
We met at the CA.
The beer pong. That's where I was
so
like, these guys.
So that beer pong.
Being completely honest, I had not heard one song.
That party. So this party, the CAA beer pong tournament, and everybody got mesh red football jerseys.
Yeah.
When you show up, and we cut the sleeves off ours and we crop topped them. So that was our vibe.
And this is a CA party. Like there's higher ups there.
Yeah.
There's big names there, small names there, but everyone's kind of trying to figure out where everyone matches up.
So we're going.
And I'm with
shout out
Candace
to UTA.
Rosenkrantz, and we're like, we were partners, whatever. And I see these three dudes acting like belligerent idiots, and I'm like, how can I get around them?
Well, no,
how can I be around these? And then we play each other.
It was fake
like
because
fake blowing each other. They're doing the most ridiculous things while I'm playing beer pong. I was like, this is exactly what I want to be around. And you guys are like, you should come to Old Red. And literally, I left that situation. I put the music on, and I was like, oh, I get it. I messed with it.
I think we like to have fun, and that's how we blow off steam, and we handle the pressure and the business and the kind of the schedule of it all. Is the three of us are just having a great time, but we take the music really seriously, and we take the quality of it and the performance and stuff. But we're having fun, and I think that's just it's not lost on us that we're getting to make music for a living. This should be fun, and yeah, you can be a serious artist, but You know, look at the Stones, look at the Beatles. They were the funniest motherfuckers that you'd ever seen, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we blow off steam. I mean, Steam's our roadie. Like, he's always hanging out.
I think the authenticity of like
Steam would be a good safe word.
Steam.
Damn.
Guys, we've already
Getting red
decided
hot.
this, and now we're gonna if we keep doing
But
this-
there's a level that people want to be around because I think in a world we live in today, social media, everyone's trying to be somebody, the TikToks, all that stuff.
Right.
When you see somebody acting a certain way, it's why it's so attractive for people to want to be around it. That's why.
There's not a lot
That's
of,
why Willie is.
yeah, there's not a lot of
such a
authenticity.
person you want to be around. He's an authentic cat.
Authenticity is
He's
what
just
it is.
being
yeah.
himself always.
No, you
Mark's
guys.
your
But
sweetheart.
let me
Yeah.
give you guys.
All right,
your
now you
flowers
guys
for a
go.
sec.
Now you guys compliment Will.
Look, I've become an obsessive fan. You guys know this. I text you all the time now. And I'm glad that you guys had a chance to, or we got to figure this out where we can come back on and hopefully we could do this again because I felt like after literally listening to hundreds of hours of your guys' pod now, the Midland one was the most chaotic. and
Yeah,
it
but
was
that's beautiful.
fucking gnarly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this has been so much more of a pleasant share.
Growth.
To beyond that is growth, definitely. But you
Men's
guys,
circle, men's club.
We got to get a cut of how many times Cam puts his hand on Mark's leg.
no,
It's
this is
happened
me
17
communicating.
times.
I'm communicating with him,
I like it.
and no, but you guys,
I
He's had
love
that
it.
stick for a while.
you guys are no. This thing we totally
Look how hard
retired.
and huge that
No,
stick is.
you guys are great, charismatic. You're definitely, and I hope that this is like growing up how we probably grew up, specifically you and I, in a big family and like around a lot of sports and with a lot of shit talking. It was just very familiar the way that you guys get on, you know? And I actually have your particular brand of it is like overwhelming like positivity. That wasn't our brand when growing up. Like it was shit on your buddy as hard as you can in front of other friends. and,
But
like,
yeah, I was
that's the
baptized in
best.
that. Yeah.
And like that's how it is with my brothers. You know, like there is no flowers.
Mhm.
Barely ever. In fact, I gave a speech the other night after the Greek that gave my brother flowers, and it might have been our like closest moment of all time ever. Granted, I was on drugs, but I meant every word of it. But I like what you guys do in that you can have conflict, but also there's like it's always positivity forward. There's a humor in it too, which I find really infectious. Like it's genuine. So like you guys have tapped into that, which is why I believe your pod is so successful and will continue to grow because you're influencing a whole generation of dudes. Let's be honest, it's probably 98% listeners.
I
are
think
dudes.
we're at,
It might be generous, but yeah.
Yeah.
99.8.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
there
probably
you
where
go.
we're at.
And 0.2
Gross.
women that don't know their sexuality yet.
Yeah. They're outstanding
Hang on
though.
now,
Well,
there's
there's a couple out
some
there.
out there.
Because you guys are hot. Also,
Well, I need my
attractiveness.
mustache back, but I appreciate that.
We need that thing back in
No,
a
I
hurry.
think
In a hurry.
it's cool. It's changed my whole philosophy on I can't go
talking.
I can't go backwards with my brothers.
Mhm.
I just can't do it.
Yeah, it's
But
that's
with
a
the
fragile
boys,
thing.
I have noticed that I've changed my approach to getting yucks, but also like because that's how we live on the road. It's the same thing. It's like being a sports team. Like you have to engage people. You can't just be blowing each other all the time about oh, it's so great, fucking all this shit. It's just
Yeah,
not
there's
fun.
no
It's not
question.
funny.
Yeah.
It's not how I like to spend my time.
Yeah.
It's not cerebrally fucking challenging. Like figuring out how to diss somebody in a funny way that doesn't destroy them. Now that's interesting.
Can I share the first text chain that the three of us were on when we were like very first starting this band, like early,
Mhm.
like first few messages? And
I have no recollection.
well, I called you because you I don't know how I remember this because I do have the worst memory, but you guys were going to go to the old place. And it was like, Mark was like, hey, why don't you swing by and pick me up because I'm like on your way or something like that. And you were like, no, I'm not going to pick you up. And Mark was like, why wouldn't you? It's like, you know, all you got to do is take
While
this.
you're just reading
And,
this, you have
and then it just devolves into like, you know, just the like craziest, you know, shit talking ever. And it just, and to me, like I grew up in the country with a sister who's way older than me, cut off from society, basically, no TV and stuff like that. So I wasn't from that background. And it was like so over the top, like this, their shit talking that I literally called Cameron up and I was like, dude, is like the band already over? Like, it's like, is your friendship like?
I was like, what are you talking about?
You're
man?
not. You're not friends with Mark.
Like, no, I'm picking him up. I fucking need,
like you're not friends with
that
Mark.
rifle that night.
Yeah, we did. We did discharge a rifle that night. It was your birthday.
Yeah, on the way home into the mountain.
Yeah.
No, it is a learned. It's a learned. And Jess has had to roll with the punches. God bless him.
I still don't know how. You know, it's like we'll be like in jest, and I'll be like, I'm gonna slit your throat while you're sleeping tonight.
Yeah, that's
you know,
about
and they'll be
right.
like, what? That's too far. And you know, that's
like,
not,
bro.
See, to me, like a friendship really hits when you can just like insult that person beyond belief, like really just tear him down. And that's when I feel like me and this person are now headed in the direction
I
we
would
want to
say
be.
that is one of the things that I've learned the most probably from being in this, because and that's a necessary. I see outfits that are out on the road, bands that don't have that. And man,
They're like strangers.
if you
to
can't
each other.
if you can't have a daily dose of laughing really hard on the road, dude, it's not
medicine.
a good.
It's how you navigate. It's how you navigate all the pressure and stuff. It's honestly,
and boredom.
And boredom. I mean, it's tough. It's not easy. Like the amount of time that we spend. You guys know. I mean, you know, the amount of energy and burn that you have to do being a pro athlete, the amount of travel and the amount of sacrifice you got to do, and being away from home, being away from your family. It's really tough, man. So you got to go out and you got to have the most fun.
A lot of testosterone.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
A lot of that.
Yeah,
I mean, you guys with the wieners out and all that stuff.
There's a lot of big wieners. There's a lot of big wieners.
Parts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, so last night.
Next to each other.
So this is last night. Cameron and I are at we're at the BMI Awards, all three of us, and
What
Cameron
about
and I
next?
go to the bathroom at the same time. And there's two bathrooms. It's confusing. One is just stalls, right? And we end up in that one. It's only me and Cameron, and then another guy comes in. He goes in a stall, and he's taking a leak, standing up, and he just rips the most like a sound effect fart, right? Like just like, and Cameron's washing his hands at this point, and he goes, I'd like to sign you to a record deal, son. And he goes, that was a beautiful song.
Like, hell of a tune, boy. I'd like to sign you to a record deal. The guy started laughing.
Oh shit, that's good.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, man.
What else, boys?
Growth.
I got to take a
Growth.
leak.
Growth.
Speaking of growth, Wildcats already three times as many wins as last year. Okay.
How many wins do you guys have?
We're 3-5.
You're right. I'm sorry. That was bad. I almost got stuck there.
3-5. We've been playing them close. We lost. I mean, we were in the game. We were one-score game against SC.
Which one of you has the biggest penis? What we gotta get out of this
We
somehow.
go.
I was going to ask,
Wow.
have you guys ever been
So
close
loud.
to breaking up?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think.
Like actual breakup? Like
I think if
breaking
COVID
up.
didn't hit, and if we didn't get a break in 2020, and have a reset, and have a chance to release the Sonic Ranch, release the documentary, the Sonic Ranch, and kind of all reflect on how far we'd come, I think you kind of lose sight of that sometimes. The starting point to where you're at, you know, if you're going like around the world, you kind of forget about the first two towns that you went to, maybe.
Mhm.
And I think that was a full reset for us when it was kind of taken away from us. And
Dude, imagine playing a
we were basically on the
football
road
season that
6
never
years straight.
ends.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
No off
Dude,
season.
your brain starts to diminish into mush. And I can, for one, tell you guys, everyone sitting in this room, like, I was not the best partner and bandmate. Like, you know, when the jokes start to get a little too real
Yeah.
and your buddy is like, what's behind that? Like, that was me a lot, you know, like just utterly
Trying to find a place for that anger to go.
right. You know, like, how do I get off this this wagon? You know?
You do get to that point just from exhaustion, you know, and I feel like that exhaustion has brought us to the brink sometimes. But I think deep down, there's always that knowing that I think the three of us would really regret it and miss it. It's like a marriage, you know what I mean? It's like you might get in a really big fight, but if you actually split up, you know, you would really regret it and miss it.
It's
you
not
know
like
what
a
I mean?
marriage. It is a marriage, but imagine, you know, introducing a third party.
You
It
can't
gets
fuck.
complicated.
I mean, we
Yeah.
don't. You
Yeah.
can.
I mean, you could, but we don't. Maybe we should.
That
You
might,
know what?
We don't have sex with each other.
but
Haven't?
I don't know.
Are we going to address some
Mark
rumors?
has been talking an awful lot about how.
I mean, I'm reading this book about Mick Jagger right now, and it's like it's unbelievable.
We might
It's
try.
wild how hedonistic.
you gotta try everything
this
twice.
is,
You
right?
gotta try everything twice.
Anything 13 times.
I mean, like here, like right now.
No, I
mean,
think
we
now,
gotta try this.
I think now where we're at, it's
gonna bring us
so
closer.
hard to break through as an artist, and it's fucking impossible. Literally 99 99.9% of the people that try it, they never break through to the point where you actually have a body of work.
It's only getting harder.
And you have a fan base that is sustainable basically for the rest of your career. I feel like even if Midland never had another hit or never were on the radio again, I feel like we could have a great living just being a touring act, like the Grateful Dead or like Jimmy Buffett, just because our live show is so good. And I'll put the stamp on that.
I mean, dude, we've already proven that. We haven't had a hit since Burnout. We're like a number one.
So we're the Mike Tyson of playing live.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like we're Mike Tyson when it comes to concerts.
Or Evander Holyfield. Who knows?
We're the most weird, toughest band out there.
than the rest,
We've
for
broken
sure.
through and where we're at now. Now we're back to kind of cruising. It's easy. It's not as much friction, but the amount of friction that you had to overcome to get to this place was unbelievable, and that of course created exhaustion and it created a lot of tension between the three of us. Plus, what we do, you gotta, as you guys probably know, and people listening, like music is a deeply personal thing, and it's a deeply subjective thing, and it's a deeply opinionated thing when you're making it. So all that tension is always kind of lying around. And how you navigate that is the point of differentiation between bands that break up and don't make it and bands that succeed and make it. You don't see a lot of bands that do keep it going. The Stones are one of the only ones, but they still had a rotating cast of characters. People didn't survive it. The Eagles didn't. They changed cast of characters, and it's not an easy thing.
Blink-182. Speaking of, boys, I don't know if you've heard the news, but you guys might be playing a concert in Cave Creek, Arizona come October next year.
That would be great.
Have you heard?
We haven't heard.
I've talked to your manager.
Yeah.
He told me what you guys charge. And then he said to me, he goes,
a lot of overhead,
because
Taylor.
he knows you guys might be able to get a discount. I said, no, I don't want the discount.
Well, think about it like
I
this.
want the boys to come and be happy.
I've always thought about that in respect to that, which, whatever, take it or leave it. But I feel like that is like art, right? I don't believe in getting discount art. If you're buying art for your house, don't negotiate the guy down.
Oof, I disagree. I'll negotiate anything.
Yeah,
I'm Greek. No, fuck that. If that's the market value, I want to pay what the market value is for a piece of art. That's how I feel about art.
Art's a little different because it's so subjective and it's.
Yeah, but I'm not like going like, that's great. I love it. I want it, but I want 10,000 off.
With art, you set a precedent. So if you actually paid that actually factors in.
That's what I'm
into
saying.
The next
This is exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark.
So you're on the same side as him?
We can't tell.
I don't know, man. I'm just like when you woke up getting knocked out right now. What happened, dude? What are we talking about?
About NASCAR drivers and hockey. You're like, it's like a hockey player. What does that mean?
I meant that
hockey players are
they're fucking tough, dude.
You think they're the toughest sport?
No.
I don't think they're the toughest sport because they don't make as much contact as football players. I think that they are they're
Clearly that's been sitting on my brain for a while. You said that earlier.
Yeah,
like,
we were on something way different.
No, yeah, I know.
You want to know about Rebel Ranch, Bob?
I know.
Here's what I like about hockey.
Will, you want to know what the toughest sport is? You want to know what the fucking toughest sport is?
Golf.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, maybe like mentally.
You get skill-wise, it's so fucking hard.
Yeah, but everybody does it.
So frustrating.
I disagree.
I bet the tolls of the stress that you go through fucking learning how to play golf and trying to get better at it is probably like causes more heart attacks and stress and cancer and shit.
Well, then you shouldn't be playing golf.
Well, I'm thinking about quitting, to be honest with you.
I got a couple bad rounds.
No, hold on, guys. Let me gavel down. Every sport is the toughest sport if you aren't naturally inclined towards it. Dude, I see John Daly. It's a gift. The guy is a gift. Yo, I'll give you a gift, girl. I think it has been hard for most people to pick up golf because most people are not naturally inclined towards it. And the thing is, it's the most accessible, right? So you got a lot of guys. It's not like you're like, boys, let's go play football.
The most accessible sport is basketball.
Yeah. You know what I think about?
Accessible sport is basketball.
Yeah, but I think the hardest sport, like to me, basketball, you got 5 guys out there.
Yeah, but if you're talking about
what's the hardest sport?
Just learning basics.
Right. Going to just
basketball's not hard.
Because you can
just learning basics.
Because you can go
F1 shooting.
Right.
Those are the basics.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I would agree with you.
I don't think golf's got a real argument in this situation here because everybody at every age is picking up a club. At every age. I've seen dudes who can barely fucking walk, stand up,
the hardest
and
sport?
twerk
The hardest
sport to play?
Football.
No, I think
You know
it's
what?
hockey.
You know what I think about
Okay.
a lot for
I
some
think it's
reason.
hockey.
You get used to skating when you're young.
buddy, it's not like okay.
Okay, hold on.
Wait, did you say
Wait, hold on,
skateboarding?
because I was
Yeah.
dancing
no,
around this.
skateboarding. I boy, you
Dude,
boys
so
skateboard now.
here's what I think about a lot for
What
some
was this,
reason.
top
Like
10 most difficult sports?
Who ranked it? Ross from Friends?
Boxing,
See, that-
baseball
this
number
is
2,
what we're talking
ice
about?
hockey 3,
Oh,
football 4, water polo 5,
Water
golf
polo would be
6,
tough. Dude,
7
shredding
rugby,
water.
8
Shredding water is
tennis,
very hard.
9
It's hard,
soccer,
but tough.
10 skiing. Surfing is way harder than
okay,
any
so
of those.
do you guys
Surfing's not that hard.
do you guys
Surfing's-
ever think?
surfing is extremely hard.
Okay,
How big was your board? 15 feet?
Yeah,
I don't
to
give a
stand,
fuck.
to
I'm
stand in the
surfing
white
on a
water.
paddleboard. He's on a paddleboard.
Surfing's
That's
not
not-
that
No, you
tough,
were
bro.
surfing, my G.
Surfing is hard.
Hold on, hold on.
Surfing is the hardest.
Wait, hold on. I gotta say this. Have you guys?
the hardest.
Do you guys ever
So
think
it's like-
about like what sport could you
I was just,
accidentally?
was just
He
smashing
has
thing
this.
right
You
there.
saw the way he
Yeah.
lifted the stick
Yeah,
over his
yeah.
head.
My bad.
What-
Be careful with the camera.
What
Sorry,
sport?
we
what
can't afford more.
What sport could you accidentally like look like you knew how to do for like 1 second? Like
Surfing.
basketball, you know?
What do you do?
Like, do you guys ever think about that?
1 second? Maybe
Yeah.
all of them.
Except
Yeah.
for skateboarding.
If you saw me do a practice swing in golf,
Skateboarding would be.
That's the only one you can't.
Right there.
Oh,
That's a nice
Isn't
little-
that-
you into this thing and then
like
fucking got
like
you in
so
a trap.
let's say like a buzzer beater like one of Jordan's, right? Like in this crazy world of luck, somebody else could come in there, get the ball and sink it, right?
That's a good wrist
In
action.
skateboarding, nobody could
play
ever
ball?
by
Like a-
by luck go do a kickflip,
A
like
nollie,
rail
heel
slide
flip,
down
12 stair.
a 12 stair
Yeah.
I could-
ever.
No,
I did
I agree
accidentally
with
once.
that.
Yeah.
I can kind of get on board with
That's not a
that.
bad argument.
I think.
So wait, what is the argument?
about skateboarding, dude? Is it's such a hard deal? And what's the deal with
That was a good
scooters?
response.
What are we doing with the scooter stuff? That's
Scooters
like the
are
new
hard
extreme
because-
sport deal.
Unfortunately,
It's cool as fuck. Like my wife's
Remember
cousin,
Soap?
he
Remember
does
Soap?
he does
All I
scooters.
watch
You
is the
want to know
slams.
what's as far? I started doing it. I started skateboarding at a young
rugby,
age.
oh, sorry, guys. Sorry. Rugby is the hardest sport of all time.
Rugby's hard. It's tough.
It's the toughest sport on the body
Toughest.
to play.
I can get on board with that.
agree with that.
And
Not-
the pile of those
it-
guys
maybe
are
the
putting
easiest.
fingers in the butt.
It's the easiest sport.
What would
Your
you say?
balls
Hang on, how
to
about
play.
this?
All you got to do is run forward
What do you
with
think
the
is the
ball.
hardest thing to do? It could be hitting a fastball.
Hitting
it could
it-
be hitting off of an
But
MLB
But you
bench.
might
It'd be
get
hitting a
lucky and do
curveball.
that.
Yeah,
You
but
might.
like we're
I'd
talking
say-
about.
No way.
I would
It's not about
say
being
stepping into the ring and not
I
getting
played
knocked
baseball.
out.
300 means you're good.
No, from
Boxing
a
stuff.
talent standpoint, the hardest thing to just pick up and do would be hockey or skateboarding.
No, I
If you
can
can't
pick.
just
I can play
put
hockey.
skate-
Or
I
surfing.
can pick up and do it.
Surfing at a
I'm thinking you're going
professional
skate right
level.
now.
I
When's
grew
the
up
last
in
time you skated?
California. I can put skates on right now. Do loops. I could do shit. I could get on it and go. I can do. I can skate
When's the
backwards.
last time you skated?
A decade ago.
Were you saying roller
I
skating?
disagree.
with that.
I can skate
Ice skate.
backwards
Oh, ice skate.
immediately getting on ice right now.
Buddy, I listen. I love you to death, and you know that. Like, I think you're a fantastic friend. And then
$300.
$300.
Yeah, $300.
I've already got a bet for
I
$300.
know. I'm echoing the 300
You
here.
think you can get on skates right now and go skate like you know how to skate?
$1,000.
On roll, on
$300.
ice hockey?
$300.
Like
What do
ice
I do?
skates?
How do we do
Ice
this?
skates. Well, I'll call somebody.
We gotta call somebody.
Yeah, we'll call somebody.
Yeah, because you got
I'll
to
do
know
it.
somebody plays
I
with
can
the
do it,
Predators.
immediately put these suckers on. I could do that. I could do
You can
do
You can
rollerblades.
do stops, both sides.
Wait, you're adding things.
You just said skate like you know how to. You
I
got to
said
stop.
I could stop.
Not to drag your heel behind it.
Oh, I
Stop.
could stop.
You can
Oh,
both
1,000%.
sides, left foot forward and right foot forward.
100%.
I feel like I could figure that really fast if you give me the
Real
full pads
fast.
and stuff. Yeah,
No,
really
I
fast.
can do
I
it.
think I can figure that out.
I used to roll. I started.
To me, it's just like drilling with
Jackie, we got to call
basketball.
your boy.
I started
To me, it's
rollerblading.
like drilling with
Jack, you know a guy with a
basketball.
roller rink?
To me, it's like doing drills with basketball. Like you do it enough, like you'll figure out.
No,
how
no,
to
I'm not
do it.
talking about drills. I'm
he's
talking
saying
about
he's
getting.
immediately getting on the ice. You're going to be ankle bending and grabbing the corners before 15 seconds.
Hey, you know
even
what?
close.
This works out because we're going to Bridgestone in like an hour. So,
Bro, so
I
we've
saw
defined
was-
it. Hardest sport at the highest level, basketball.
At the highest level, hardest sport at the highest level.
Easiest sport to start,
Surfing.
basketball.
We interrupt this episode, which I hope you are thoroughly enjoying, to bring you Wondery. Shout out Wondery, no free shout outs. Former NFL star Ryan Shazier wants to make something clear. When doctors
Ryan.
told him he would never walk again after a devastating on-field injury, it wouldn't be his last play. For Ryan, miraculously walking back onto the football field was his only option, because the one thing the odds don't account for is the will to overcome. Don't Call It a Comeback is a new podcast from Wondery, co-hosted by Ryan Shazier, a former Pro Bowl linebacker, along with Dave Dameshek, a former fantasy analyst on the NFL Network. Don't Call It a Comeback covers the greatest comebacks from this past week in sports. Stories like Albert Pujols' resurgence to join the 700 Club, and major culture movements like Rihanna headlining the Super Bowl halftime show. Fourth and goal with seconds left. This new podcast is your weekly reminder that it ain't over till it's over. And who doesn't love an upset from the underdog nobody saw coming? Follow Don't Call It a Comeback on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, or listen early and ad-free by joining Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts or the Wondery app. Back to the episode. Enjoy Thanksgiving.
All right, boys. Shout out, no free shout out. It's a
Do you guys know
segment.
what shout out, no free shout out is?
They don't know.
Yeah.
Shout out, no free shout out is giving a little bit of love to the little things in life. For instance, Will's shout out, no free shout out last week, which was 2 days ago, was the walking escalators at airports.
Yeah, which was a great one.
That's a fantastic
was
shout out,
fun.
no free shout out.
But the way that the way to do this in the best and most successful way is to all the lead up to the thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So how are you going to
Why
present
don't you
what this
start?
is?
You're the
It's all about the
expert.
presentation.
Sometimes you just go cut and dry. And
Yeah,
shut
you
the
did
thing
cut
out.
and dry that walking
I don't like
escalator
that.
and it hit immediately.
And sandwiches.
Look, man.
I've been thinking about this.
Oh, hey, you just reminded me of mine.
I mean, Jack's going to go first.
already have 5 and the mics are all set up over there.
Okay, so we'll start. I'll start. I'll be the lamb to slaughter here.
Do you want me? I can go if you want to. Do you want me and Will to go?
You go first, because I want you. Yeah, you guys go first.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, brother.
All right. My shout out, no free shout out, goes to those times when you might go to not the best restaurant in the world. Maybe it's a fast food place, and you get to that condiment section. And usually, everyone's got the ketchup, they got the mustard, but those few times you get there, and they have the squeezy dispensable ranch. When you get that dressing around your food, it makes everything so much better. And to know that you have a luxury of infinite ranch, that you don't have to go and ask that individual, that waitress or waiter, and say, "Excuse me, sir, can I get a couple more of these?" And he gives you that dirty look like, "My God, this man can really put down the ranch."
Yeah.
I can just go back up, get my paper cup,
Yeah.
fill that thing up, and start dipping them fries. And so my shout out, no free shout out, goes to Infinite Ranch.
And I love that. I'm a ranch buff.
Buddy. Dude, how do you feel about blue cheese?
I've come towards it, and now it's like integral to my.
I
if
hate
blue
blue
cheese is a
cheese.
person, I would commit first-degree murder.
I hate
so
blue
you hate
cheese.
it.
I can't
Cannot stand it.
Cannot
Worst
stand blue
thing on
cheese.
the planet.
I love cheese in
All right,
general.
we're getting sidetracked
You
here.
have cheese in general.
Yeah,
That's
only
right. You do
cheese,
a little
though.
bit of talking.
Just
You do a little
milk.
bit. I know you listen.
But we were talking about ranch.
Even cheese in general.
Well, I mean,
Hold
I
on.
eat all kinds of cheeses, but
Ranch goes on
smoke is my favorite.
Fucking everything in my.
You know what
life.
I was going to shout out today, but I decided against
You're
it
gonna
because I thought
do
it'd be petty. I was going to shout out hot sauce
Oh, love
because
it.
I think there's a place that hot sauce can make everything a little bit
I
better.
mean, Bottle Rocket hot sauce, some of the greatest.
Pretty
of all
incredible
time.
stuff. It is
Good
incredible
stuff.
All right, Willie, what you got, babe?
Listening to your guys'
I'm joking.
listening to your guys' almost breakup story earlier gave me my shout out, no free shout out. My shout out, no free shout out goes to apologies.
Ooh.
When you can swallow your pride, set your ego aside, empathize on the other side, and deliver a good, genuine apology, I think that takes a big person.
Like I did earlier.
Yeah, like you did earlier. It just reminded me, it's like, man, apologies, like,
Like somebody who's at least 5'10" in boots, like a big guy, big person.
It's a big guy.
Why you gotta?
Well,
you're
you're
just
play
catching
in
straight.
mentally.
You're catching straight in the middle
Yeah,
of my
that's right. You
shout-out.
deserve
I'm like
that.
Willem
straight.
Dafoe
You
and
deserve that
fucking
straight. You just
Platoon.
got me with one a second ago.
I did not.
But
Okay,
my
I'm here.
shout out, no free shout out goes to apologies. Like, I think they're an unsung hero in a disagreement.
Oh,
Hey,
And they're not thought about a lot.
that's an outstanding shout out. No for shout out.
yeah. I love that. That's a. Jack, why are you smiling back there, dude?
I had to apologize to Will this past weekend. He probably forgot that.
What did he?
I wasn't thinking about that, but
Oh, what did Jack do?
apologies do like.
What Jack asked for?
I came down with bad energy on Saturday.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
I wasn't gonna talk about it.
It's all good.
You know what
Yeah,
the
we don't have
best?
to
You know what
talk about
feels?
it.
Were you hangry?
It feels-
Yeah, probably a little hungover.
Mark's
He was
on his.
hungover. He was a little kind of like
Mark.
call spade a spade, a little late getting up.
Mm.
And it
Mopey.
came down to some. It was his birthday.
happy
but
birthday,
he-
Jack.
You guys have an extra bottle of water? I don't know what happened to
But he
mine.
came down with some bad energy and some like
Hey,
bad
Jackie, I'll
vibes.
take
and
one
I
of
had
those
to,
too, buddy.
like, brother, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's happening? Like, you just
Never, I got it,
I
guys.
need you
Mark
on a
gets
better, I
low
need you on
blood
a better
sugar,
wave.
and he turns into it's a Snickers commercial with him. So
Really?
he does a lot of apologizing.
Yeah.
For that,
Are they good apologies?
sometimes they are. Sometimes it's like, dude, sorry, I'm hungry. I was hungry. It's just like, bro,
It's like, okay, you're giving yourself an excuse.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than it's like, dude, I'm sorry that you got offended. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's not an apology.
Sorry you took it that way.
I'm sorry that you're offended by me. You know?
The best thing about, I feel so good to apologize when you know you just literally annihilated the whole debacle. No, I'm good. I have so much piss in me.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
And it's good to forgive people.
Yeah, and it really takes like you checking yourself, like
Yeah.
you really like not suppressing, but like
just saying I'm sorry isn't the same. But I'm sorry
you can have
because
some, like I can have some
powerful,
weak
dude.
apologies to where I'm not really meaning it. I know it comes off that it can come off.
No, there's nothing worse than an insincere apology.
Oh.
It's nothing more infuriating than that. And there's nothing worse than apologizing and then 30 minutes later being like reaccused and be like, and still being mad after you've already apologized.
Hey, bro, I apologize for that.
This is starting to get real personal here.
Mark, who's doing this to you?
I got one.
Come on.
Oh,
How many people are married here? Okay, how many people know what I'm talking about?
no, I get it. I hear what you're saying.
Okay, you know, Taylor knew exactly what I was saying.
I get
Go
it.
Jess next.
Yeah, go, Jess.
Right, Jess.
Do it, Jess.
All right, my shout out, no free shout out.
I love how he did the head too. That was outstanding.
Well, I took it from Will.
That was great.
I thought that's what we're supposed to do.
That is. It is.
Look over your right shoulder.
Yeah.
Well, Taylor doesn't want it's shout out, no free shout out.
Yeah.
I just look away.
This one is based off of the guy who always brings the room service at the Joseph Hotel, who is the
love
sweetest
him.
human being. Like I don't even know how it's possible to be such a sweet human being. So my shout out is to the value of a smile.
Oh,
As somebody-
Gosh.
That somebody gives you just in your day, you know, like this guy, I don't know how he is like always.
Chipper.
Yeah.
I didn't get him this morning.
Bro, we have been talking about this.
So incredible, dude.
We've been talking
a full clap. For
Oh wow.
on our travels. We travel a lot. Okay, so we go to a lot
rethinking
of
my whole
restaurants. We
shit.
go to a lot of hotels. You know, you do a lot of airlines. And what I'm finding is that there is a general lack of, number one, of pride in what you're doing. We're starting to see just an erosion of general civility and politeness.
I'm going to run out and pee while you say that.
Go ahead.
But I don't want to miss your shout out.
I would go ahead. Yeah.
We'll filibuster.
You need
We'll
him to talk
filibuster.
more? Yeah.
Keep going. I got to pee so bad.
Go ahead. Go pee. Go pee.
Mark is still
It's all right.
dude.
Will and I do this by ourselves all the time.
Oh
It's
my
good.
God, have you ever had this thing?
What's the
go
deal?
up your ass?
What's the deal? What's going on? You know, I'm in mid
Go ahead, do your
sentence
thing.
right here, and everybody walks out.
Be careful.
I'm about to fucking.
You still got a camera on me, or yeah? Where's the camera look at?
Oh, there he is.
I get no respect. I
Go
get.
piss.
I'm in the mid sentence. I'm pontificating on something rather profoundly, and everybody just walks out to take a piss break. I get no respect. Lead singer never gets respect. You know what I mean?
Rodney Dangerfield,
Hey, be
everybody.
honest.
Now imagine if the lead singer walked out on those two
Mark,
guys.
be honest. Have you ever thought about like leaving and doing your own thing?
Oh, now are we on the record now?
Hey, let him know. We won't tell him.
Well, I'm happy that the shout out, no free shout out, is.
Are you giving yours right now?
No. I've got one,
Okay.
but it came to me because first, it's interesting. This is a great little tradition. I'm gonna start doing this with
Right.
my
shout
wife.
out. Wait till you hear. Well, we did
All right,
tear
let me
talk.
have. I'm a Zen boy. I'm a Zen
Zinder?
boy.
Zinder?
I'm a Zinder. Zen.
Oh, hey, listen.
Speaking of Zen, so I grew up on a ranch and I enjoyed. We started doing plugs, right? I had like
Plug.
a bar of tobacco, like soaked in molasses, and you bite off of it.
He's
And you just chew on it, like the old
Oh my
school.
God, that sounds
I
incredible.
used to steal dips of Red Man from my dad, like chew, when I was like 6. And I love it. Yeah, but I know it's terrible for you, so I'm always getting like my mouth checked, and I don't do it very often.
Yeah.
But on road trips, especially when I used to drive the van, or drive the truck on tour, because I was always the driver, I would load up on a thing of Red Man, and I'd just be.
There's something.
It's so disgusting the amount of saliva that it produces, but there's something so gratifying about that huge spit. It must dehydrate the living fuck out of you.
It's got
right?
to.
It has
got
to, right? It has to.
I also grew up on a ranch, and there was just an endless supply of chewing tobacco at all times. My first taste was Skull Apple, and I did it, and I thought it was incredible.
Mine was Copenhagen straight, and I threw up. So I threw up for fucking 30 minutes,
That's
dude.
disgusting.
Yeah, my brother-in-law gave
No,
it to me.
I didn't throw up. I was friends with this kid named Waylon who had braces. So the way he taught me to do it was I take a little bit, roll it up in a ball, and put it in. So I was doing like I was microdosing tobacco. So I did that for a little bit. Went to his house. He had Skull Vanilla. I'm a huge vanilla guy. Like vanilla ice cream is my shit.
Oh, wow.
Fucking hate vanilla.
Okay. We will unpack that in a second.
And banana flavor.
Really?
Anything flavored banana?
Hey, don't bring it up. Don't bring it up the power bars now.
Oh my God, I'll throw up.
Just to remind you, we're
What
Oh,
time
we're
is it right
fine.
now?
319.
Oh, we're
We
good.
gotta fucking roll.
We're gonna finish this segment and then
I
do
need to go
tier
figure
talk
out what
and
the
then
fuck I'm
bail.
supposed to wear.
We gotta roll.
No, we'll be fine. We'll be all right.
So
We gotta roll soon.
I'm gonna drive you.
Yeah. Well, whenever Jeff's back, we'll finish this up.
We're gonna finish this and we'll do tier talk and then we'll be done.
Hey, can you guys start figuring out what we're gonna do for tier? What are we doing for tier talk?
Thanksgiving sides.
Sides.
Oh fuck.
Remember we literally
What, you
talked
haven't
about
thought about
this.
this yet?
No,
You
usually
thinking about this?
we usually take a break.
It was in the chat, right?
It was in the chat.
Yo, how wild was that group chat we were in when he was talking about Will hasn't gotten back to me?
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you talking about?
Is the thunderstorms happening in the brain?
Can we talk about how Cameron just took a piss
Am I
break in the
brain?
middle of fucking the podcast while I was literally
Sorry,
in
boys.
the
It's
mid
a common, it's a common
dude?
deal. It's a common deal.
Jess had
Are
a
you gonna
pee-
piss yourself?
How long, dude? It was
Literally?
insane. Ask Jess. It was like Austin Powers comedy piss.
I have a superhuman ability to hold my piss. I can hold my piss for 6 hours if I had to while drinking
hitter.
beer.
I can't actually. And it's getting worse.
Yeah.
What did Jonathan Terrell say? I've got the bladder the size of a Capri Sun.
They were
My twin
Okay.
brother has to pee every 20 minutes.
Okay, so hold on.
the shout out, no for shout out with Mark.
Mark, go.
Well, I was just saying that I think that there's a general, there's an eroding sense of civility, politeness, and also just a passion for doing what you're doing the best you can do it, and by enjoying it, knowing that you're doing this job hopefully to get to the next level, to get to somewhere else. And the only way to glean everything, because I truly believe that there is so much to learn from every position, coming from a guy that I've done every job from shoveling shit to washing dishes
Is this your no
to
free shout out?
bussing. No,
He's
I'm
commenting on
finished with
Jesse's.
his, to bartending to
wait, you're taking my
goddamn,
notes?
you name it. Like I've done it all.
He held the thought.
I was a repo guy. I used to repossess people's cars as a freshman in college. I've done it all. And I always took a certain pride in whatever that job was, mastering it and getting to be the best with whoever I was working with. I just feel like people aren't doing that these days. I just feel like people are getting fucking ruder and ruder and ruder. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if you guys see that in your travels.
The adversity I've had to overcome in my life, like it's always been vision, it's been process. I'm just fucking.
Anyhow, that was my response.
You were honest on there. That shit you were just saying, I was about to get into it there.
I think Jess
I was
is.
just saying, like, Mark takes Jess's and then he just starts going on.
Yeah, I'm about to give
I said, you know, I was
Cameron and I've been
repoing
talking
cars.
about this.
Like, oh, we're talking about our.
I did it to
we
the
were talking
best
about
of my
small bringing
ability, you
stuff
know?
up.
I did. I repoed the fuck out of those
person would
things,
come
dude.
running out.
Do you want to do your shout out next?
Yeah,
Or do you
I'll
want
do my
Cam?
shout out for no shout out.
Well,
Shout out,
Free, no free shout out.
Shout out.
shout out, no free shout out.
There you go.
Yep.
The no free.
You get that.
You got it.
He's got it.
You're doing,
Yeah, you
you're
did it,
doing
brother.
so good right now.
Slightly dyslexic.
You're
Okay,
doing
you guys?
really good right now.
I don't think that has to do with head movements, does it?
I don't know, man. Just let me do my shout out, no
Fucking do
free
your
shout out.
My
right?
bad. That's my bad.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out, no free shout out.
You got
I
it, bud.
gotta ask them in the sidebar where that origin of that is. All right. So it's Tuesday, October 22nd. Okay. And you've been going all day, and you're finally just get a moment, and you've been holding in this huge shit, right? And you go and take a beautiful dump, right? And then now you've got back from the gym. All right, take that dump and you go take a shower, right? And you're thumbing through your closet, okay? And you kind of get a glimpse of something in the back, right?
Mhm.
And you dig through your jeans, right? And you're like, oh my God, I forgot that I own this pair of pants.
Wait, what does the
And
dumping
it's
have
like,
to do with it?
it's a favorite pair of
picture.
pants. And you haven't, you're, oh my God, I forgot about these fucking pants, right?
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden you get this little ping of excitement, right? And you pull those pants out, right? And now all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm gonna fucking put this outfit together, okay? I'm gonna go have drinks with the boys. And now it's coming together and you're feeling really good. And you put that pair of fucking pants on. All right?
They're your
and they
wife's?
fit great.
Oh,
No.
they're yours.
And then you reach into that pocket and there's $27 of cash sitting
That's a
in
good
your fucking
free
pocket.
shout
Okay.
out.
Oh my God.
And you feel like you just won the fucking lottery, right? All of a sudden now your mind is racing what you're going to do with this $27. Now you show up to the fucking valet and you look at the valet guy
basically,
and you fucking give him a $5 and you make eye contact with
Get
him.
in there, boss.
All right. And now you give an extra $1 to the bartender, right? You're
Yeah.
you feel
making
the money in the
money now.
lottery. And that's my shout out, no free
But
shout
wait,
out, right?
where's the dump coming in?
A great story is always to misdirect, okay, Jess? You don't give
You know
it
what?
away.
Can I say one? Can I say one thing? When we first started this band, we went and we played we flew to Tucson, drove down to Sonoyta, and played Mark's parents' anniversary early on in this band.
At the ranch, it was great.
And I'll never forget his sister pulling me aside in the kitchen and saying,
Oh, let's go. That's
one of the first things she ever said to me was, "So does Mark just love to talk about his shits or what?" I was like, and at the time I didn't really, because I didn't spend enough time with Mark, but it's always
ass play.
rung so.
Yeah.
Cat play, ass
Gut health is so important to life.
I mean, having a good dump is like, it's up there with the great, it's like winning,
one of the best
winning a fucking $30,000 hand. Okay. It's an exciting, it's a great thing. And when you have a clean dump and you know that you don't even have to wipe,
But you
and
do
you have
anyway.
the confidence, but you just do the check wipe.
Sometimes Mark
But
doesn't
sometimes
even
you have the
check wipe.
confidence and you just know.
he
You
goes,
don't even check
"I
wipe.
know."
You know. When that sucker pops out and it's just
He's a
like
confidence
it's like,
man.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah,
it's
he
like
goes,
dry and it's
I
clean.
bet there's
There,
nothing
dude, and you
there.
pull it out and that's a clean tissue. You
That's
think,
gambling.
great.
I've
That's
done
called
some,
gambling.
right?
I've
So-
done some.
Sometimes you skip
That's a
even,
little
you don't
W.
even check.
I have before.
Oh,
There has been
Hey, you're a yucky boy.
Hey, we have our
Boy,
hey, are we done? Because we have our sound bite that we
Okay,
need
there
for
you go.
Yeah, that was
All right,
it.
that was, dude. I gotta say,
There you
Mark,
go.
I wasn't sure how you guys were gonna take to this, and first of all, Jess, that was what a
Beautiful.
what a
another.
what
That was,
a,
that
what
was a
a
beautiful moment.
emotionally satisfying.
Blowing the
That's
doors
great.
off the hinges,
Mark,
bro.
yours with the story. And
incredible.
the actuality of the No Free Shout Out being one of the greats, and I've listened to a lot of them. Boys, that's gonna have to go out on like top 10 of them. That's a good
That's
one
a really
That's a
good one.
really good one.
for at least a guest.
Yeah.
I've heard Will say, "Yeah, my shout out sandwiches," and it was a hitter. Like so, and that's top 10. So
Oh, shout out to sandwiches.
fucking
Bro,
sandwiches.
can you go
Don't
back
fade
to what you were
enough.
just doing with your hair and the hat like that?
Like
That
that?
was incredible.
Like that right there. God bless me with a few things in life, buddy. Lettuce is all I got.
Little boy right there.
There it is.
Little
dude.
Luan.
It's a lot of lettuce.
I need this mustache.
So
back.
how
Yeah,
were you guys? I got a question before I do mine because I want it to hit, and I may have to pivot to something else. But when you
Are
guys,
you intimidated by what your boy?
Yeah,
no, I want to make sure this
I
is
would
hitting
be.
for
Thank God
everybody.
we went first.
I'm not
That's when I
intimidated.
brought the heat on
I'll
that.
get into
God.
it. But were you when you guys were out of high school and you guys were like in the real world? Was Uber like in your lives yet? Was it like no, it wasn't?
I didn't get to Uber until here,
Okay,
and we're technically still not in the real world yet.
okay, good.
No,
That's
but
good to know.
he's saying before.
Well,
What are you saying?
I'm about to get to my point now.
Yeah.
So
When we were graduating
was
high school,
Uber
the iPhone
accessible?
just came out.
Okay, so
Yeah, I had
I'm
my
talking about
senior year.
college. Okay, good. So
Bro, we had pagers
Jack,
when I
what about you?
graduated from high school.
Mark had smoke signals. Jack, was Uber around when you were in college? Were you using it all the time? Mitch, you look younger than Jack. So
Oh, Jack.
okay, this is good. I just wanted to hit for everybody, so I'm gonna go with this one.
Oh, he put an insurance policy out.
I
with his
did.
name.
Well, I just wanted to make sure it hit.
Listen, we're all excited.
So it's not. That was
Listen,
good.
just you gotta.
So my shout out, no free shout out, is when it's that time of the year and you are gonna be using air travel. You're gonna be getting on a plane to go somewhere. Let's just imagine right now you got to go home for Thanksgiving and it's your sophomore year of college. Okay.
Back to beautiful
You
Arizona.
might have $27 in your pocket if you're lucky. Okay.
You found them pants.
Right.
Pants.
And you've got your ticket. You don't want to be late. But you also, being a college student and not having Uber at your fingertips, You got blindsided. You forgot to figure out how you're going to get to the airport.
Oh no.
Okay. My shout out, no free shout out, goes to that buddy.
Ooh.
And it's just one.
And I can see him right now.
Because you only get one of these guys in your life. Okay. That buddy who goes, I'll take you to the airport. I will drive you in my car to the airport and completely inconvenience my fucking day to take you to traffic hell. I will take you to the airport. You can rely on me. I'll be that friend for you.
Wow.
Consequently, he's also the guy who helps you move. That is my shout out, no free shout out to the guy that will stop his day and take you to the airport. I can safely tell you guys that I am that friend.
You are that friend.
I am
You are that guy.
Wow.
That's a good shout out.
That's a
I'm the
solid
guy.
shout. I would say
I've helped Mark fucking
5
move.
solid
That's
shout
a
outs.
lie, dude. You did not help me move.
I've helped you move so many times. How did you get to the trailer? Me.
Oh yeah, you did. Okay. I was thinking of Chris Glassman was supposed to help me when I moved
Mark, Chris
to Texas,
Glassman is your
and nobody showed up except for our buddy Andy Mack, Andy America.
another. Sometimes these
He's that
guys
guy.
come out of nowhere. It's not like your best
I
friend.
have a guy, Joe Machado.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Shout out to my buddy from high school.
Who
drove you?
Fucking solid
and I-
motherfucker,
Yeah.
dude.
Dude, Joe was
Dad,
my guy.
can I get a ride? Absolutely fucking not.
No question.
Okay, thanks, Dad.
Dude, we were on tour a
nothing.
couple of years ago, and we were finished the show, and I called my wife, and I couldn't get a hold of my wife, and she wasn't answering, and I just had this I was homesick, and we just had she was pregnant, and we had our baby at home, and I was freaked out. I just had this bad premonition, like on stage, and I called our neighbors, the Brainers. She's also our OBGYN. She's delivered all my nieces and nephews, and it was fucking 12:30 at night. They're doctors, like they're long asleep. Paige came into the house, broke into our house, and checked on Tyler and the baby, that the baby was sleeping.
No way.
And then
Consequently got
snuck
shot in
out,
the
and my
leg for
wife never knew.
Oh.
She broke in, and then I was like,
Actually scary too.
Well,
that's scary
yeah, that's
too.
also scary too. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, I gotta
That's
like
pretty
up our
easy.
security.
Yeah, yeah.
Lump them in. Who can, person that you can rely on. That's a,
And there's some too knowing that you can ask that person.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
knowing
There
like
is a
you're-
level
you're-
if we don't want to inconvenience.
Yeah.
That's called a mensch.
Guess
and that's
who
a
moved
mensch.
my brother into his last house? This guy.
Really?
Right.
Fucking dude.
I'm gonna help you move, guy, but I will give you a ride.
And didn't make it to the podcast.
My
His
brother.
Guess who once missed our show? Who's our videographer and photographer? That's what he gets paid for. And we're taking stage, and we look around, and everybody goes, "Where's Colin?"
Taking a nap.
And I go, "I guarantee you, he's taking a nap."
Oh no.
And
That's my brother.
He didn't know that the
Guess
time
who's gonna
changed.
be helping me on fucking Friday?
Your brother.
Colin, better
Colin's a
be.
mensch. Colin Duddy we give him a lot of shit because he's our little brother. We talking about like the art of shit talking and stuff.
Mhm.
But Colin really is the best guy to have on the road. He always has the best attitude, and he actually does work pretty hard. Somewhat hard.
Fairly.
Oh,
Fairly.
he's here? Oh, Colin Duddy is the laziest piece of
Okay, last question here. The Roback question. Use code BUSSIN on roback.com for 20% off your first purchase. That's RHOBACK.com. Code is BOYS. They work with the best college athletes from Will Anderson to the boy Michael Mayer, Bijan Robinson. They also have dropped new performance joggers. Trust us, you're going to want these and use code BOYS for 20% off. This is the Roback last question.
Okay, tier talk.
king of naps.
Tier talk.
And that was a good shout out.
Thank
That
you,
was,
boys.
I think 5 across the board. I did not know it was going to
5 for
happen.
5.
Hey,
I knew Cam had heat because
that was a perfect game. That was a perfect game.
That was
Yeah.
outstanding.
That was a no-no.
All right, tier talk.
I love
is
that,
going-
by the way, guys. I'm going to. That's going to be at Thanksgiving this year. We're doing a Friendsgiving. And I'm going to go
Tier
around.
talk. I mean, do a shout out, no free
I'm
shout
going
out.
to do a shout out for a show.
Yeah. Shout out, no free shout out of the week. Go ahead and text us your shout out, no free shout out every week. We'll read it out loud for you guys.
Tongue twister. Okay.
So, tier talk.
$300.
No, I'm pointing. Oh, $300.
That's how you point.
Coming my way.
That's how you point.
And maybe
Tier
for Will.
talk.
That's how you point.
Best Thanksgiving sides.
Okay.
You rank them 3 to 1. Your
This is
top
called
3
tier
basically.
talk.
Okay,
Tier
so
talk, 'cause you're
3
tiering.
ranking your
top
tiers.
3. One
Okay, I
is the
gotcha.
top. 2 is so the best way to do it is start with 3 and then work your way to 1.
All right.
Right.
Why don't you start this
I'll
time?
start.
We'll switch it up.
And then there's also an honorable mention who doesn't make it, but everyone. likes
Sometimes, but you can throw it in.
You don't need to have the honorable
it.
mention.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste time with that.
That sounds excessive.
It's a little excessive.
Yeah.
Make sure I'm hitting my right 3.
These guys do this, but I've got.
Okay, go ahead.
So
Thanksgiving side dishes.
yeah. So number
Thanksgiving side dishes.
number Okay. Number 3 is going to be in the vegetable group. It's not anyone's like go-to, but somehow when it's done right, it's like when you go back for seconds, that guy's getting scooped in. Because you know how sometimes seconds you're like, oh, I know what I'm avoiding now.
Right.
And number 1, you have to do everything, right? Because you don't want to offend anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 is going to be a well done green bean for me.
Green
Snappy,
bean?
not casserole. Green beans.
No.
Now let's
thank you,
no,
Jeff.
hold on, time out. So during tier talk, no one can speak but the person talking. And at the
You
end
didn't
of
have
tier
to speak.
talk, we all get one word to how we evaluate their tier
You
talk.
didn't have to speak. I know how you felt about that.
Well, you didn't.
Yeah, that was
That was
that-
your fault
that
because
was
you
a
didn't
tough deal.
explain the rules before.
That's true, and that's why I had to interject
but
right there.
actually, I'm glad that Jess said that because it made me fill me with confidence.
Okay.
2.
He can't help it. He's from Phoenix, man.
2 is going to be one that I never go for during the year at all. In fact, I avoid it vehemently.
Vehemently.
And will not order a meal on a menu if it's on it. But for some reason, in the setting of Thanksgiving, I find it very comforting. So number 2 is going to be creamed corn. Yes, sir.
You're back there.
And number 1, I grew up in California, so there's a caveat to this one because I'm sure not everybody has been exposed to it. But if you haven't, I'm happy to bring this into your world. My stepmom makes this every year. Number 1 for me, the California kid enjoys himself wasabi mashed potatoes. Have you ever had that?
Yes.
Did you like it?
I love it. I love mashed potatoes, period.
Oh, sorry.
That's your tier 1?
That's my tier 1.
Tier 1 is wasabi mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go around the room. Will?
Will's
Will,
gonna-
hit it with me. That's fine. You're from a different area
I've got so much to say
of
about
the
your
world
first
than I am.
Era.
An era.
3 and
But it's
2.
only one word, right?
One word.
Okay.
One word?
And after the entire tier talk, we talk about
Yeah.
who we think.
All right, good.
It's okay.
Garbage.
No. Mark, you can't applaud his
I was
garbage.
stretching, dude. I was stretching my forearms. I hit biceps and forearms today. Okay.
Disappointed.
Oh, wow. Colin. Yeah. Oh, that's as bad as that one.
Mark is in deep thought.
Mark, you remember allies can be made or enemies.
Need me. Sadness.
Oh, no.
Wow, I got just shot on.
Oh, no. Hey, listen, you spoke
Wow.
your truth, and that's the only thing that matters.
Wow, that's
You
interesting.
fucking sat in on this bus and openly made a fool out of yourself, and that's okay.
Whoa.
I'm just kidding.
You exposed
But you
yourself.
came out here and you
Incredible.
said what's true to your palate, and no one can take that from you.
And now we go.
I feel
next.
like I did a really good job.
Do you want to go
Yeah,
next?
you go.
You
I
either
will
go next or
I
last.
can go really fast. I can go extremely fast.
Specific mashed potatoes.
I do. I respect
I
that as
could've
well.
said mashies.
The mash I fuck with.
All right, so you're gonna start your tier 3.
Starting number 3. My mother's homemade 24-hour slow simmered organic cranberry sauce. Number 2. Honey baked ham.
That's not a side.
That's not a side. That's not a
fucking
side.
side.
That's
No,
not a
No,
side.
sorry.
that's a
I
main
would've said
dish.
lamb.
That's a
I
main.
would have said lamb.
That's a
It's
main.
a main dish.
No way. It's
a
not.
man.
No,
Mark,
turkey's always the main
turkey,
dish.
We're throwing it out.
Turkey, ham,
Turkey's the main
lam.
dish.
I do
It's
lamb.
Do you agree?
It's unanimous.
Turkey's the main dish, but
Yeah.
ham is not a side.
Sorry.
Go back to the drawing board there,
Go
boss.
back. Try
That's
again.
fine. My dad and my mom collaborate beautifully after 50 some years of marriage to make a recipe that has been in my mother's side of the family. And then he merged it with my dad's Polish background to make
You're going with heritage stuff?
stuffing with the turkey liver in it. It's amazing.
So stuffing.
Stuffing. Tier 2. Okay, stuffing.
The lineage of that is not going to make the graphic. It's
He's
stuffing.
trying to make us feel for his.
Tier 1, and I don't care what you guys say because to me it is a necessary food group at family events, especially like Thanksgiving.
Beer.
No, a
Oh.
beautiful beautiful, like an extravagant bottle of red wine that has been decanted.
Bro, Mark, that's a fucking drink.
been decanted. How gayer can you make that?
Mark, that's a drink.
I will not apologize for having
Mark, but you're not playing the rules.
or a palate.
On your side.
Why are you guys so
Because
fucking?
it's our show, dude.
Mark,
Wait, hold on.
pick a side dish.
Fucking pick a side, dude. We're gonna bring you home.
Yeah.
You trying to put a
I
ham?
can't wait for red wine to be on the graphic.
Well, then ham and I'll go with turkey. Turkey, ham, and lamb.
Okay. Final answer. Decanted expensive red wine.
You're gonna end up getting.
That's it.
Okay,
you
so
guys
you got-
try to make me say something else. I won't.
Unfortunately, Mark, you got disqualified.
Jess, what's your word? No, he can have it. I want red wine to be on the thing.
Yeah, he can have
What?
red wine.
Yeah, that's
He'll have it on there, and he'll win
Thank
the
you.
internet. But
Thank you.
Whoa, hold on.
would he win the internet?
If we're gonna be
because the
salacious-
whinies, the people that love the wine, a decanted bottle of wine.
Beautiful.
There's gonna be some
One of
some
life's
broke
great pleasures.
Nashville that are gonna be fucking.
He broke-
peaking
Yeah,
on.
one of life's great pleasures.
Fucking robbing this man.
Shout out to my boy
More
Carl
like a Hams
Mondavi.
Light, but like kind of on.
I hope.
Shout out to the Mondavis.
What's your one word?
Ridiculous.
Nope.
Nope. I love that.
Let's go, Phoenix.
Extra.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
Gay.
This thing worked.
Which means happiness. Which means happiness. Which means happiness. Okay.
I can't. I have no. You were disqualified in my eyes.
My mother's nickname, by the way, is Gay. Her name is Grace, and she
So
was gay.
my
in
one word is
college.
disqualified. Cheated.
Disqualified.
Cheating. That's my
Hey.
one word.
Look, man.
Oh man.
Okay,
I
Jess, you're
told
up.
you guys I have a problem with authority.
There it is.
Yeah,
Thank
see?
God you didn't go to the Naval
Jess, what do we
Academy.
got,
I
brother?
don't like
Thank
the
God
rules,
you
man.
didn't
I would have
serve our
done well in the
country.
military.
Number 3 for me is also green beans.
Thanks, bud.
No words.
But they have to be done right because you can really fail on green beans.
Well, it's not bad green beans.
Right, yeah. Number 2, mashed potatoes with gravy, and I do the little volcano. You hollow out the inside, you pour the gravy in there. You got a little volcano of mashed potatoes,
Tried and true.
Mm-hmm.
gravy.
Taylor, please.
Sorry.
Number 1 is cranberry sauce, and it can be homemade with some molasses in there, and it can be out of the can. It doesn't matter. I love cranberry sauce so much. I will fill up on that sometimes before I even eat. And you know what? I love ham. In fact, I go
but
ham
who doesn't
before I
love
go
ham?
turkey.
It's a side.
No, it's a main.
We're gonna
But,
ask all the followers. We're gonna take a survey.
I just-
we're gonna take a survey.
I thought of-
I'm
I
not
thought
gonna
of-
accept your guys' authority here.
I thought of
Yeah,
ham
that's a good
because
point, but you
Yeah.
will be disappointed in.
You guys are speaking with such authority. That
It was-
ham is
my
not a
audience
side.
can't
it
wait.
was
And what, the new guy, Mitch over here, fucking.
it was
Mitch
He's
is
on
the back
fucking
shaking.
Jesse has
It was-
Look how swole this guy is.
The only reason I said ham was
Jesus,
because
look at the
you know
triceps on that guy.
I said molasses and it made me think.
Okay,
You know,
but you went
ways
with
to prepare.
cranberry.
Cranberry is number 1.
Cranberry, brother.
Cranberry sauce.
No, I wasn't going to change it. I was only saying because molasses made me think of how you prepare ham sometimes. Number 1 is cranberry. Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
If you
Cranberry
continue
sauce?
to let it,
Gravy. Snap peas.
No, mashed
beans.
potatoes
Green
was second.
Oh, mashed potatoes a second.
Three was
with
green
beans was 3.
Green beans.
Yeah.
Same as
Are we talking about the same green beans? Maybe that's why you didn't like mine.
Like the long
They're
ones.
long and they have the little
yeah,
tiny
yeah,
little
yeah,
sticks in the
yeah.
end. Okay, yeah, we're talking about. We're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have to be snappy. You've
I
heard
do
them.
not like this.
Okay, one word. Mark. It's your one word.
oh, my
Oh, I
one
thought we were
word
gonna go
for
this
this.
way.
We're gonna go this. I'm going this way.
You go that way.
Better.
Okay, that's fine. I got my word.
It was a question.
Bad.
Question. Will, jeez.
Mine is mid.
mid. Mid.
Mid. It's like
Mid.
it
Okay.
was fun. Like I fucked with half of it.
I know Jack appreciates that one.
at JP and see if we heard it.
Got that mid.
This is technically one word. If you don't put any spaces, that fucks with cranberries.
Oh, what about the whole thing, Mark?
Oh,
Okay.
cranberries.
Fucks with cranberries.
He doesn't follow rules. You
Okay,
know.
no rules. That's fine.
All right, man.
It's so much fun to
Hey,
follow
How
rules.
about this? Cranberries.
All right.
There we
Cranberries
go.
with 2 thumb emojis. All right, Willie.
Would you like to go first?
I always go last.
He always goes last. It's the thing.
It's not always.
It's our podcast.
All right.
Such a princess, Taylor.
I'm battling with my order because I love Thanksgiving. I think it's one of the best meals. And your boy's a classic Thanksgiving guy. I'm gonna throw in an honorable mention.
Forgot one.
I'm gonna throw in an honorable mention. It's not gonna make my top 3, but it's an
Sesame.
honorable mention. And it's gonna go to green bean casserole.
Okay.
Love green bean casserole. My tier 3, and this is where we get in the element. There's gonna be nothing surprising, nothing flashy, just fundamental ball when it comes to Thanksgiving. My tier 3 is gonna be corn. My tier 2 is gonna be mashed potatoes and gravy. And my tier 1 is stuffing. All 3 of those are gonna be mixed all together on my plate with gravy on top. Listen, we don't have lineage like going back to Poland and decanted wine. I'm trying to feast on my Thanksgiving meal, boys. And that is my tier talk.
Okay. My one word for that is America.
Okay. Yeah. Hell
I
yeah.
feel like that's an insult.
I know. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah.
Uncultured.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. That is
Or-
so-
Non-lineage.
Non-lineage.
Non-lineage. Non-lineage.
JP yelled facts.
Yawn.
Oh.
All right.
That might have been the best insult yet.
Yeah.
That might make a frequent.
That was only payback because he,
Has anyone
he gave me
given-
the best.
That was
Will's been fucking
I know it is.
sniping people.
We can talk
Yeah.
about it. We can talk about it.
Will's been throwing fire.
Will's top mentions have been bad and gay. All right. Mine is
No. What was your on him?
my word.
Your one word.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, sorry.
Truth.
Interesting.
I think that's a cop out.
Yeah,
What
it
do
is
you
a
mean?
cop out. Just commit
You're
to
just saying,
liking
like-
it or not.
You're just like you.
I think you should wait till I do my tiers until you figure out what that means.
Okay.
I can see the want to in Taylor's eyes when he was just talking to Will.
Let's saddle up, boys and girls, because we are about to go down a fun little ride. My honorable mention is going to be in the casserole department.
Oh.
But I think a sweet potato casserole goes a hell of a long way. Get them marshmallows on top, get them a little bit burnt, start dipping in there, buddy. You got a fully delicious
It's carbureted, baby.
carbureted snack with some absolute sweet touches on the top. You're living the fucking dream. I'm actually a little upset I put that in honorable mention. My tier 3 is going to the green bean casserole. I think if you do it right and the flavor profile with the texture of the crunch, you're not gonna miss. You're not gonna fucking miss. My tier 2 is a staple, an absolute staple, and you can make it however you want, however cultured you want to be with it. I agree. I think stuffing is a staple in the Thanksgiving dinner. That's what you have to do.
Nothing like a good lineage.
And
stuffing.
finally, my tier 1 holds this plate up on its shoulders because we all know that turkey, although the main dish in most Thanksgivings,
sucks.
can be very dry.
Yeah.
So you need that volcanic mashed potatoes and gravy to sit there and you lube that turkey up a bit
Yeah.
because we're all going to the same place. So let's mash it all together.
Yeah.
And that are my tier 3, my tier talk.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Horny.
Why that was so funny.
No, dude. You nutted all over that.
Hey, I went crazy
that?
on that thing.
Mitch is new. He sees that sexual tension.
Yeah. Will and we've gotten close.
I'm in the middle of No Nut November right now, so I'm a little.
Yeah, it's
I'm a
day
little-
9, and I'm really having a hard time.
Oh, really? You guys
There's
do
some
that?
heavy petting this morning.
That's rough.
I too am.
Horny.
I too am on a break with this guy.
Yeah. It's a toughie. All right.
Feels good
Classic. If not obvious.
though. Runner up.
Through your own? Well. Oh, that's good.
Is that good?
Yeah. Chunky boy.
Hey, I'm proud of that tier talk because I was stressed.
Dude, I will say, man, and speaking of food, we gotta
we gotta go. We gotta be on the red carpet in like 45 minutes, dude.
Yeah, you guys will be there in an hour, 5 minutes.
I will say, like, man, there should be like more movies about like the night before Thanksgiving when you return to your hometown from and meet up with all your high school friends from wherever you moved off to.
There's a few.
You know, like that is one of the most pure and American and amazing things. And everybody just gets together and just gets
We'd go to El
fucked up.
Balazzo. That was ours.
You know, so good.
It is, and everyone's
Okay.
like, "Oh, someone's balding."
Right.
The chick that wasn't hot.
Jenny Hollywood.
Some drama just gets created for no reason.
I spent one of those nights with Cameron, dude.
There was, dude, when you would go back
home
from
with
your first time going back from college and meeting up with everybody, and then there's that girl that was untouchable, and now all of a sudden, like for whatever reason,
There's a
she's
story.
touchable.
There's a off
You're
mic.
like, man, I can't believe like I had a huge crush on her.
Right.
She never gave me a shot, and then however for a reason, beer's way more accessible now.
Yeah,
You're only
because
18.
you're maybe like a star football player in
get
college
there
and shit.
For
Yeah.
whatever reason.
You're gonna be worth millions of dollars. He's like, yeah.
I'm talking about your first time back from college,
Yeah.
like your
That
freshman
was the
year.
best.
And you go and you see that girl get a huge crush on
I
her.
went to
can't
college
guess.
in my
I came
hometown,
back
so
I was popular when I left, and I came back. Dude, high school was like Days Confused for me. It was
God,
the best.
phenomenal
you're the
movie.
fucking man,
When
dude.
I came back, bro, I did some time in LA, and I was like now in a band and shit. And I came back like skinny jeans, tight shirt, scarf, and got people were like, "Are you gay?" And I was like, "Whoa!" First of all, if I was, it's not a big fucking deal. Second of all, no. Third of all, like Tony Traverso, like get off my shit, bro. I'm like cultured. I left town. Like what the fuck, dude? I took a lot of bullets the first couple of years coming back, dude.
So it was a tough time
That
for you.
happens though if you just do a full 180 and
I did
come back,
180. I was
that's
still
what
fun loving Cam, but like I was trying different shit. You know what I mean?
You got to figure out who you are. I'm
I
still
left
doing that
Blink
every day.
182 guy, came back Steely Dan guy. You know?
You do take heat, like you know, not like you're outgrowing or something, but people want you to be who you were when they knew you at your best.
Go ahead.
In their head.
A little cocaine. We're all back to the square one, dude. You know what I mean? That
I understand
the theme
that.
of today's podcast.
not anymore.
And we can circle back and probably end it here. Growth.
Growth. Yes,
Growth.
sir.
All
Good on
right.
you guys. Thank you so much.
Great fucking pod.